Hey everybody, it's Derek here. Just a little disclaimer. We are gonna speak a little bit about the election that just happened, and we recorded this before it was announced that Joe Biden was the winner. So we're talking as if the votes are still being counted. So yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a. This is the Music Theory Podcast.
Hey guys, what's up? It's been a minute. Welcome to the Huggercast, the only podcast with more black hosts than black listeners.
Yeah, so this is, we've been away for a minute. We were gonna try to wait till the end of the election so we could talk about that, but, this is like 2000 all over again.
Yeah, so it turns out that, a lot of states take a while to vote. To count.
Yeah,
This is...
it's been such a tight race in the states that are being counted that they can't call it.
Yeah, we usually don't go in too much to politics unless we can meme about it, but, this is the presidential election. It's literally...
a giant meme in itself.
Yeah, not only is it a giant joke, it's a giant meme, and it's one of the biggest, it's the biggest event this year besides insert disease name here.
Yeah, it has been a shit show.
Yeah, I voted. Colton, you voted?
I did vote, yes sir.
Would you care to share your vote with the people, or is that something you like to keep secret?
That one I'll keep secret, being private boy.
Okay, I'll share it.
I'll share with you off air.
Okay, I'll share it only because there's a story.
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually voted third party. I voted for Jo Jorgensen because she seemed pretty chill. And that's cool if you disagree. That's fine.
For the people that don't know, she's the libertarian.
She's the libertarian candidate. Yeah, and I actually caught a little bit of heat from some peers of mine. I won't go into too much detail, but
a little bit of heat. The way you made it sound was a lot of heat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like that's just why I hate election season, because it felt like no matter who I voted for, I was gonna get crap from somebody.
You were wrong.
I was wrong no matter what. Yeah, of course. A lot of people out. If you're listening and you normally vote third party, you get the whole your vote was a waste, or you're letting the Republican. A lot of times from the Democrats, you're letting the Republican win.
But from the Republicans, you're letting the Democrats win.
Yeah, so it's like it feels great being berated. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of I don't care about POC or LGBT, even though my constant support for these communities, I'm actually part. I don't know if you guys know this, despite me saying it a lot of the time, but I just so happen to be a brown individual, so
he is both browns. He is a black and Hispanic man. Yeah,
it's beautiful. But yeah, that's the thing. I won't go into too much of it just because it's but here's the thing. I've argued with conservatives and Republicans before, and although we disagree, there's usually some sort of this is why I think this way, and it's okay, there's some sort of understanding, but I really hate arguing with progressives, especially because the thing is, I'm on their side. I'm pretty liberal and I'm pretty progressive, but when you argue with progressives, there's just this snark and this moral superiority that you just don't get from any other side.
And it comes a lot, I could say this as a white person, it's mostly the young white people who have that snark.
Yeah, it's sweetie, you're homophobic, sweetie. And there's
they have the world figured out. Dead Kennedys wrote a song about that called Holiday in Cambodia.
Oh yeah, that's a good song. Yeah,
that entire album is fantastic.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Yeah, during that conversation, I felt like I was back in 2016 or 2017 when I was making SJW videos on SJWs and stuff like that. I was like, oh wow, I feel like I'm back in this world.
I feel like that culture is going away though, because a lot of those people are either growing up or just realizing how douchey they can come across.
Yeah, either that or they're still that way and just like people just don't talk to them.
Could also be that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is they actually poked fun at this very podcast.
Oh yeah, you said they were calling you well, I guess us out.
Yeah, they're saying that I was only arguing just so I could have content in the podcast. Well, here you go. If you're listening, here's what you wanted.
This is what you drove the man to do.
This is yeah, and so like here's the thing with the third party vote. And I'll quit it after this because it's depressing. It's a lot of people think that if they didn't vote, their vote could have went to their side. In reality, most people that voted third party probably just would not have voted.
Mm-hmm. It's just one final way to show, like, maybe I know that's not going to make change this year, but maybe in my lifetime, this party will be an actual legitimate contender instead of standing in the wings.
Exactly, because if the third party gets 15%, that's all they need. Then they get invited to debates during the next election. They get funding. Like, it would be cool to have a third option.
Although, did she get more votes than Johnson did last election?
I think Johnson may have gotten a little more. I think Johnson was probably the closest. I think they were at like 5%. Don't quote me on it. Like, he did pretty all right.
And my mom always talks about, was it Ross Perot that ran his third party and got was actually getting above the 15% that needed, but then he started getting death threats and dropped out.
Yeah, I remember Ross Perot running. I don't remember what party he was under. I just remember he was rich. That's all.
Mm-hmm. I believe he was some type of third party.
That's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, so I mean, most of the people that vote third party, it's not because they don't care about, marginalized communities, which I do care about, but it's just because they just don't want to play the party game.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like, even though I hold the same views as like a lot of people that vote Democrat, it just, because I didn't pick the right color, because I didn't pick the right, it felt like sports, because I didn't pick the right sports team, all of a sudden, like, you're not with us, you're against us.
That's what politics has turned into. It's just a team identity.
Like, it doesn't feel like you can have like really good conversations anymore with people. And that's pretty much how I think change happens.
You got to be able to explain your point and show the other person why you believe what you believe, not just scream at each other, which both sides are guilty of.
Yeah, no, and it's not just a thing on the left either. It's definitely a thing on the right. There's the always Trumpers who, like, if Trump set off a nuclear bomb that specifically targeted their place of living, they'd be like, oh, Trump did a great job.
I'm not gonna lie though, I know people like that, and watching the meltdown that they're having currently is hysterical.
Oh yeah, no, like I don't like Trump. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a child.
Oh yeah, just the entire time of them saying like, I can't wait for all these liberal snowflakes tears when we crush this election, and now they're completely flipping and they are the giant baby people.
Yeah, now they're the snowflakes. Like, that's like, I meme on both candidates and I meme on both parties because I kind of just hate the whole party game.
It's entertaining. I'll give this election has been.
It's been a while.
Quite entertaining.
Oh yeah, those debates were great. I loved watching them. But the thing is, they were entertaining. But it, like, I was really close to voting for Biden, but I was like, he just didn't sway me, and I can't stand Kamala Harris. I think she's honestly like a supervillain.
She is.
When you look at all the things when you look at all the things she's done, it's like And the funny thing is, she's running under like the whole black thing. And I was like, I think I'm blacker than Kamala Harris.
Yeah, because what is she, part black, part Asian? Is that what
She's like, she's like Indian.
Indian,
and like a little bit of Jamaican.
She's Jamaican me crazy.
She's Jamaican me want to kill myself. Yeah, I mean, if gun to my head, if you're like, all right, pick between Trump and Biden, obviously I'd probably pick Biden. But it's like, I didn't want to cast my vote to him.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like that, but theirs was more, I'm not voting for him, I'm voting against Trump.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just I don't know, in my opinion, like, I understand it. and I get it. I just feel like that's a bad way to have an election. Like, I feel like when you vote for someone, you should vote for them.
I agree, but at the same time, I do see where these people are coming from.
Yeah, no, I totally understand it because I think like I said, I hate Trump.
Mine
Yeah, I
is
think
just more the embarrassment it is to have all the world leaders together and then to have him representing us.
yeah. I'm just really sad because I wanted Bernie, I wanted Andrew Yang, and I wanted Tulsi Gabbard.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that gets me is like Democrats are always like, we love minorities, we love minority voices, we love strong women. It's like you had all of that this election,
and you shut them all down.
and you put up the old white dude.
We could have had a Jewish man.
Yeah, we could have had a Jewish man, we could have had an Asian man, we could have had a Hawaiian woman, first woman president. I would have voted. I love Tulsi, she was great, and she's
honestly
hot.
What if Biden would have had Yang as his VP?
Oh, if that's all that I would have cast my vote. Definitely be like, all right, Yang VP, I'm going.
The Jewish Asian persuasion.
Yeah. Honestly, that would.
See, I selfish reasons, I would want Bernie to win because then we'd get Larry David on SNL way more.
Yeah,
doing his,
that's the
his
one
Bernie
thing.
impersonation.
That's the one thing I was like, man, because it looks like Trump's gonna get out of office, so I'm like, man, the end of all the bad Trump impressions. It seems like no one can do a good one, you know?
I know a whopping one person that can do a good Trump impersonation, and he's Psychic Pebbles.
Oh yeah, I think it's because he's just really good at voices in general.
Because the way he explained it was perfect. It's like, they all try to do his cadence, but the reason his cadence is like that is because he's an old fat fuck who runs out of breath after every sentence he says.
Yeah, let's both try a Trump impression.
Oh no,
okay, I'm gonna try mine. You know, Colton. See, it just slips into that. That's how everyone does it. You know, I love. It's gotta be huge. It's gotta be huge. Everyone slips into that, and I feel like it kind of misses the point.
My turn. I am Donald Trump. Hardy, hardy, har.
Hello, my fellow N-words. It's me, Donald Trump. All right.
The fact that you got so close to the mic for that.
I don't know what came over me. But yeah, that's I guess we'll get off of that because that stuff's freaking depressing and anger-inducing. So
we're gonna go on a lighter note.
Speaking of politics, Pixar movies.
One World Order.
What the PWO, the Pixar World Order.
Sheriff Woody rules with an iron fist.
He's more like an iron wood. Today we're gonna talk about we're just gonna talk about Pixar movies. We just want to talk about the best, the worst, the mediocre, the great.
All great up until after probably about WALL-E, and then they started kind of declining a little bit.
You know that thing they were like because they had a storybook or whatever of like all the movie ideas up until WALL-E, and then after that they're like, oh.
I mean, there have been some good ones after that.
Yeah, it's just that the ones up until WALL-E were pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
And then all these other ones are like, okay.
They were all masterpieces.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so, yeah, okay. We'll get into that. So yeah. Let's get into our Pixar, Disney. We're basically just going to go from earliest release date to latest release date, giving our short kind of thoughts on the movies. Not super detailed, so if we miss anything,
yeah, Derek's not going to let me run wild on a 3-hour love letter to Toy Story.
You know, if we make a Patreon and we get those patron only episodes, we'll do a Toy Story one.
I'll do not even. It'll be just me ranting about it, drunk in my room at 3 a.m.
You know, god dang, Jesse, that's a hell of a woman right there.
I was going to be talking more about Slinky Dog, but
well, his voice is kind of hard to do too. I'm trying to do it. I don't know if I can really do it. Well, Woody, it's me. It sounds like a chain smoker. It's hard because he has that rasp, but it's hard not to sound like a chain smoker.
Sound like a woman who would be at Double D's bar in Lavernia at like 1 a.m, sitting at the corner by herself playing the slot machine.
So god dang, my kids don't call me anymore. Yeah.
Oh no, this woman didn't have kids. She is just Old
Shout
and
out,
nasty.
shout out to Gertrude from Lavernia. Anyway,
No, that would be more like a Darlene or
oh
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, some like an old like what's it like Andre 3000 says, old school names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a Darlene. Have you heard that song where he says that? It's a Capital City song with Andre
I
3000.
don't think I have.
It's called Farrah Fawcett Hair by Capital Cities and Andre 3000. Pretty good song. He says girls with old school names like Ruby May. That is an old school name.
I like Ruby May though. That's a cool name.
I run into a lot of women with Lynn for their middle name. You know?
I know a lot of girls with Elizabeth for their middle name,
Oh, more like
including my
Eliza.
girlfriend.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say something inappropriate, but now I can't.
Oh no, you're good.
I was gonna say I actually didn't have anything. I was gonna say Elizabeth's penis or something. I would have made it work.
You did your best.
I did. I tried.
A for effort.
More like A for anal. Anyway, the first movie is the classic. The first fully 3D animated movie, actually CG, was Toy Story.
They started on a high point, and it was all downhill from there.
It's all downhill. No, I'd argue there's movies better than Toy Story. I'm sure
your argument is invalid.
You wouldn't agree with it, but
I'm curious to hear these arguments now. See, I got a review for Toy Story, and here come the chips.
All right. You told me about this. Oh god.
We got Cool Ranch and barbecue.
That's Colton's favorite line from Toy Story. Here come the chips. So Toy Story, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it. It is a really good movie. It's a great movie, actually.
I watched it so many times as a child. I wore out our VHS tape, and we had to buy another one.
Pretty much the only thing that is dated about this movie is the animation, and that can be forgiven because it was the first CG.
And even then,
it's still pretty.
Yeah, the main characters look good. There's aspects.
The toys look good.
Yeah, if you're looking at background and like set pieces, it can be a little. They have a charm to them, though.
They look okay. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable movie. I think it's well written. I think the animation for the time is really good.
The voice acting is incredible.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. Every voice actor in that movie does a great job. Tom Hanks is like, you just can't hear anyone else's Woody.
I don't want to.
Although, did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know, for all the video games and like side stuff that aren't the movies,
his brother.
It's his brother, yeah. He does all the voices.
His brother, I mean, I guess siblings.
He essentially just sounds like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's like really good. So like what'd you call it? Like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. Woody's in there. It's not Tom Hanks, but it's pretty darn close.
What is his brother's name? Please tell me it's like Tim.
I don't know. I'm gonna look up actually.
Tim and Tom Hanks.
Tim and Tom. Tom Hanks.
Brother. Or I want his name to be Hank. Hank Hanks.
Hank Hanks. Jim Hanks. He looks a lot like Tom Hanks, just bald.
I want to have a son, though. I want to be Hank Hanks. And then when people see him coming, just Hank Hank.
Hank. Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say that hasn't already been said, but Colton, I know you could gush a little bit if you like.
Yeah, like I said, I grew up on that movie. That was my first favorite movie. I used it to scam grades in school because I've told the story before, but when I wrote about it, helping me get over my grandfather's death and taught me how to talk.
That's actually pretty magical.
It's just, I don't know, it's very charming and whimsical, and it just, watching it, I'm instantly teleported back to being like, in the past 5 or 6 years, that is the only time I've really, like, ugly cried was at Toy Story 4, just because it got that, like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that one later, but it...
That little kid emotion in me, it just...
Mm-hmm. It brings you back.
It
is.
Does.
That one's... All of them are solid movies.
It's my feel-good movie.
Yeah. And then, also, I guess to close things off, Toy Story, like, it's funny. The writing's really good.
Yeah,
it's legitimately funny.
It's the writing that is humorous to everybody, too. It's not like just kid funny or just adult funny. It's just solid humor.
Like, even to this day, like, I Am Mrs. Nesbit cracks me up. Like, I don't know why, but it just does.
It's the delivery of the line and just the
I
whole
am.
framing
He
of.
sounds drunkly. I am Mrs. Nesbit.
I know
Yeah,
my
and
mom. We still quote as a family. Oh no, it's a combat Carl.
oh yeah, when he's gonna blow it up, right?
Yeah, when he's about
Yeah.
to blow it
Oh
up.
no, it's a combat Carl. And then I guess last thing, music. Randy Newman, classic, all those
Oh,
songs. I
it's
know Randy Newman's kind of memed to death, and he kind of gets a little bit of hate, but all the songs for Toy Story are really good.
they're solid songs.
They're
Like
classics.
I cannot picture that movie with a different soundtrack.
You got it. Remember we used to do the Randy
Oh,
Newman voice in
all the
senior
time in high
year.
school.
Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend. Yeah. But yeah, and all in all, Toy Story is it is a great movie. Not the
Solid
best Pixar
movie.
movie, but it's really good. What
I'm
would you give
curious
it?
to hear
What would you give it out of 10?
10
10 out of 10?
masterpiece.
Okay, I give it a solid 8. It's
Okay.
good. Really good movie, though. That's high praise.
Yes.
The next one was actually A Bug's Life, which I haven't seen in years, so I don't have a whole lot to say.
I really like. I feel that movie gets looked over all the time, and it's a solid movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's also funny. Like the writing is good, and as a child, I loved the like the blooper outtakes they did.
That's right, where they showed scene from Toy Story, where they
Well, no,
were chopping the grass.
That, but also in during the credits, it's like the "Do I look stupid to you?" and then the princess, yes.
Yeah, was that the first one to do that? The outtakes, the first.
I think so.
That's something.
But yeah, no, it's got good writing. Honestly, Hopper is a pretty menacing villain.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey does a great job.
I mean, it turns out he is a villain
And
in
we
real
won't
life.
say
So.
anything more about Kevin Spacey.
But yeah, like for being a grasshopper, he's intimidating.
Yeah, there's that really good scene where the metaphor about like people rising up against like their oppressors and stuff like that, where I don't know what it is. It's like a rock or something, and he pulls out the one rock and he's like, "Did that hurt?" And he's like, "Nah." But then he pulls out the whole thing, and all the rocks fall and basically kill them.
Yep.
They're like one tiny ant isn't a lot, but when they group together, and hey, what a great time to get that metaphor, because oh boy, election time.
Also, Bug's Life led to one of my favorite jokes about my ex-girlfriend was after we broke up. Actually, I'd already started dating Kaylee at this point, and she was asking my friends what they thought of my ex-girlfriend, and Jacob just basically doesn't break down, but he's just like, Colton, she looked like the ladybug from A Bug's Life.
I'm trying to picture her, and then
it was just a fantastic insult. Like, I don't know where he pulled that from.
Do you feel that that's accurate? Is it an accurate description?
I wouldn't say it's inaccurate.
I'll have to put some pictures together a little bit later. So, but yeah, I need to watch it again because it's been a while. But I would say a solid, from what I remember, a good like 6 or 7.
I was about to say I would rate that one a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, 6 or 7. 6 or 7. Because the way, here's the thing about 1 to 10 scales. Most people think of them like with school grades. So if they hear a 6, they're like, "What? It sucked." It's like, no, like 5 is
60
average.
out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is average. 6 is it's good. 7
Oh
is
no,
like.
see, I know how the scale works. These are all just going to get high grades because I love all of Pixar movies.
Yeah, I understand. They're all good. Like, I don't think there's a bad one.
Like, I can sit down and watch all of them up until not too long. Yeah, after that, it's a little more hit or miss. But the golden years of Pixar, I can watch them at any time, which is rare for me with a movie.
Yeah, some of them are hit or miss, but with the golden age, I guess you would say they never miss, huh?
Long drawn out sigh.
As long as you got the reference, that's all that matters.
Yes, I got the reference.
As soon as you said hit or miss, I was like, well, I have to do this. You know me. I have to do this.
Contractually obligated.
It's right there in the fine print of the podcast. The next one was Toy Story 2. I'm trying to think whether I like this one better.
I don't like it better, but I will give it a 9.9 out of 10. It is right up there.
I would probably give it also, I probably like it about the same, maybe 8.5, 8, maybe just a smidge better because of the characters and the villain.
The scene that still to this day cracks me up is the second Buzz when they're like, "Are you coming? I'm gonna go play catch with my dad."
And they had a whole Star Wars reference just for no reason. No reason, really. And even as a dumb kid who didn't know much about Star Wars, I understood. I was like, oh, Star Wars.
Or watching him play through the Buzz Lightyear game on the Super Nintendo in the opening crawl.
That part where he dies.
He gets blown in half.
It's just his legs. That was the funniest thing in the world.
Because to little Colton, when he first watched that, he really thought that Buzz was
like,
dead.
Yo, this is dark. Buzz Lightyear's dead. And then also Wayne Knight. I love Wayne Knight in pretty much everything. And he's something about his the way he says words, like his cadence and his voice, just lends itself really good to comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what he's in, even if he's in something bad. You know,
he is the redeeming part of bad movies.
Yeah, and of course Seinfeld. That's great. I love Seinfeld. But yeah, this is a great movie, and it's made even better because of Wayne Knight. The animation definitely jumped up in quality.
Oh, the animation!
The humans look more like humans.
Yeah, it actually looks good now. It's not even just like it looks good for the time. Like it still looks pretty good.
It's still pretty solid. The songs, I don't know if they're as memorable.
Nowhere near as memorable as the first.
Something about that song with Jesse.
I was about to say the Jesse scene, that one still sticks with me.
It's good, but something about the song kind of irritates me.
Really? Maybe it's because I'm white, so I enjoy that type of music.
Yeah, maybe that's it. There's like the historical, be like, something about this bothers me. Here's a whip crack in the distance. No, I feel like there's something about songs that are really on the nose about the scene that they're in.
Yeah, it is a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, like there's a scene in Brother Bear, another Disney movie, I think all the songs are like, whenever they're playing, they're pretty much just describing what's on screen. I was like, yeah, I get it. You know, I get it. I understand.
See, I think it bothers me now more as an adult, but I'm thinking of watching it as a kid when I didn't pick up subtlety. Yeah. And I needed to be shoved in my face.
It's still a really, like, emotional scene, I would say. But yeah.
Oh, man. You know, I'm bumping this up to a 10 out of 2, though. A 10 out of 10, too, though, because...
A 10 out of 2?
Yeah, a 10 out of 2. It's
a
that
5?
Good. But out of because of the Barbie scene.
Oh, yeah. What they're talking about the end?
I'm tour guide Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud.
I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud. I think all these movies have great scenes and great jokes.
They really do.
Yeah. The next one is... Oh, is there anything else you want to say about Toy Story 2?
No, also thumbs up.
Thumbs up. We'll do the Siskel and Ebert thumbs up, thumbs down. Although most of these will be thumbs up, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stick with the number. I would say 8 to 8.5.
Okay.
Monsters, Inc. is the next one. This is probably one of the first... Because I've talked about the first movie I saw in theaters. This is another one that I don't remember seeing, but I remember going to Cinemark and seeing the poster, and I was like, I want to see this movie.
Also, I love Monsters Inc. It's another one that the music in it is fantastic. Like,
I'm trying to remember.
People forget how it's like the jazz intro.
The score, yeah, the score is really good in this movie.
And I believe that was actually written by Newman as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So like, it's not just let me sing what's going on screen.
Yeah, no, he can actually write.
Yeah, he can actually write a good instrumental. That's pretty awesome, actually. I love the memes. I love the memes from the bass boosted, like all that
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, this is another one where the writing's really good, the voice acting, all the voice talent. Steve Buscemi as the villain is great.
He's fantastic as the villain. Is John Goodman is the
Yeah,
so it's
I
basically the Big Lebowski animated movie. No
oh
wonder I
yeah,
liked it so much.
I just love John Goodman and like especially his voice acting roles because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times he's just playing a very nice guy, and you
That's why you need
just
to
feel
watch
it.
the Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah. Like with this movie and Ember's New Groove, like you just there's a certain warmth to his voice
Mm-hmm.
performance, and it's like, you just want to give this guy a hug, you know?
He's got that big, just like kind of like dad type
Yeah, like he could
vibe.
be threatening, I guess, but like it's like very he could be
Stern but not
stern.
mean.
Yeah, and then Billy Crystal's amazing in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who voices Roz also, but that's an extra point right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you forgot you're our friend Jordan. That's actually how
Yes.
we first started becoming friends in elementary school. Cause he had just watched Monsters Inc. and every time he saw me, he's like, "I'm watching you, Dixon."
Always watching.
Always watching. You forgot your paperwork. With Mike Wazowski, I'm going to say the N-word. Anyway.
Yeah. Good and jokes again, real solid.
Yeah,
Real.
a lot of great animation too. I like and character design. I love these character designs.
Oh, yeah, because they all feel unique. It's not just copy pasted. This is the
Yeah.
same monster but different color. Like they're all
Yeah,
different
there's
monsters.
pretty much no similar looking monsters. Like every. Oh, and of course, 2319.
I was just about to say.
Everyone knows it. 2319. 2319. This is. You know what? I think. Now that I really think about it, I think I like it better than both Toy Stories.
All right, you're entitled to your own opinion.
That was so passive aggressive.
No, it's a good movie. What would you give it?
I would give this one probably a 9.
I would give this one an 8.
I would say that the only drawback is maybe I could see for some people the kid being kind of annoying.
Oh, but she's
just-
so cute.
Yeah, she's cute, but like there's people who are like that are like they're just there to be cute, you know, and that bothers some people. So I could see it.
I feel like it wasn't integral to the plot though. Like if
Oh yeah, no, for sure. There's the part before we move on to the next one where they're doing the TV interview and there's just the monster, the sludge guy with a country accent. He's like, I try to run away from it, but then the kid used its mind powers to pick me up and shoot me like a doll.
I've heard of theories that it was actually Jack because of like they shooting laser beams from its eyes and stuff.
He shot me with his laser beams.
That's Jack does that.
Yo, and I just realized by thinking about that scene, like even the background characters all have unique voices.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Or
such a good movie.
The two stonery dudes that
Oh, sorry. I love those guys. You know what? Those guys should have gotten their own Pixar short.
I heard there was like rumors that they might, but that never.
Yeah, because I mean, in Up, if the two hospital guys or whatever can get a short, those guys deserve a short.
They were entertaining.
But yeah, this movie's like a 9 out of 10 for me. I love it to death. I don't know why. I don't know why I hold it closer to my heart than Toy Story. Maybe just because I've seen Toy Story so much, or
That's fair, and it's a very endearing movie. Like it
really is. There's a lot of heart behind it.
It's
You know
another one of those that makes you feel good.
I will say the villain, or not Steve Buscemi, but Waternoose, kind of weak.
Yeah,
Not the memorable design. Not super intimidating.
Just kind of an old crusty guy.
Yeah, kind of just there. He has some good lines, like "I'll kidnap 1,000 children," but
Before I let this company die.
yeah, but I would say that when compared to other villains, kind of weak, kind of on the lower scale.
Yeah, not terrible, but not anything
Not
incredible.
Great. Although Steve Buscemi as Randall, great. That's great. I guess that's why they felt the need to have 2 villains, maybe.
They couldn't let Steve Buscemi shine too hard.
Yeah, because then it'd be like, wow, another great Steve Buscemi performance. Who could have guessed that?
I mean, if anybody who's seen Spy Kids 2 would know.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too fears what he's created? I love Steve Buscemi. I need to see more of his movies. I've said that before.
The Big
But
Lebowski. We need to. I'll
that's
invite
true.
you over soon. We'll have a movie night.
We'll have a movie night. And there's that one where he plays a Russian.
What movie? I don't
Or
even know what movie that is.
it's like a whole parody of like Soviet Russia.
Oh,
It's supposed to be really funny.
I have to watch it. What's the other Airheads? I think he's in. I think it's called Airheads, where it's like the metal band and he's got long hair.
Yeah, him and Adam Sandler, right? And
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
I don't think it's Brendan. It might be Brendan Fraser. I don't remember who's
It's
in that
somebody.
movie.
All right, I guess we'll go to
Yeah,
the
let's-
next one. Let's try to speed these up. Number 5, Finding Nemo. Amazing.
I think that's one that I suffer from. That I've seen it so many because my little
Really?
sisters used to love it. So I've seen it probably other
It's
than
been
Toy
fatigued.
Story
It's
more
been
than
fatigued a
any
little.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still very endearing though.
It is. This is another one that I just love. I just love this movie.
It's and the animation of the water that everything
it's
looks so good.
Beautiful, especially for 2003.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Have you
gorgeous.
seen? They actually released some tests that they had done where it was too lifelike, so they had to go back and cartoon it up a bit more
Really?
because people couldn't tell the difference.
That's crazy. Didn't they re-released it in like 3D a few years ago, right?
I think so.
That must have been a treat.
I
That
don't
must have
remember.
been a real treat. I remember with the Toy Story movies before Toy Story 4 or before Toy Story 3,
Mhm.
they re-released the first two in 3D, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was like a double feature. Like you literally sat there for 4 hours. And it was like
Best 4 hours of your life.
Best 4 hours in 3D. That must have been a treat too. But this one, I don't know. What's the name of the guy who voices Marlin? I actually don't know this, so I'm gonna check real quick.
Yeah, that I do not remember off the top of my head.
I'm getting a lot for the Finding Nemo video game. Why?
Because it's the greatest video game ever made.
Sure. Albert Brooks. I don't know a whole lot about the actor, but man, he is good in this role.
Yeah, he was honestly, I think, the perfect voice for it.
Yeah, like it was another one of those things where it's just a very warm and endearing voice.
He really is the concerned but caring father.
Mm-hmm. And you totally understand where he's coming from. It's not one of those like, oh, I'm a curmudgeon. It's like, no, like I'm genuinely
My whole
frightened.
family was murdered.
Was
and you're
murdered
the last
by-
that I have.
I want to protect you. Like you, obviously he's overbearing, and you get that, but you still understand it.
Mm-hmm. It's not just him being overbearing and unreasonable. Like
Mm-hmm.
when he
And
touched
then,
the butt.
Touch the butt. A lot of memorable lines, great writing, great animation. I guess we could say that for most of them. Ellen DeGeneres as well. I'm not a huge Ellen DeGeneres fan.
She did
but
great though.
She's great in this movie. I can't imagine anyone else's Dory.
Our crush was incredible.
Oh, the stoner. That's amazing. Like that they put a stoner turtle
Mm-hmm.
in a Pixar movie. It's great. I love that.
And not just like subtle stoner, like full on like.
No, he's like, dude, like the waves, bro. Like, it's a perfect voice.
Your California stereotypical surfer stoner.
He's 150, dude. That's how I learned that sea turtles live really long lives.
Longer than me.
Yeah. We actually in a biology class, I think it was. We actually watched this movie, and we had to like find sea creatures or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, that works though. It's not just the teacher having a blow off day like that. I could actually see
It's
good coming from that.
there. You could tell the people that made this either did their research or knew a lot about sea life.
Mm-hmm. They just watched a lot of Jacques. They watched a lot of Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau.
But yeah.
But also underrated performance, Willem Dafoe in this movie.
Who did he
So-
play?
He was the scarred fish that Nemo runs into.
Is that Gil? Is that what is his name?
I think it might be Gil. He's like, we have to go find your parents.
Yes.
How was that? Was that a good Willem Dafoe?
That was it was like a Defoe walking mix.
Nemo, we have to go and find your parents. Anyway. But yeah, it's a great movie. The next one, Incredibles. which that's another one I haven't seen in years, but everyone
Oh,
loves.
are you gonna give Nemo a rating?
Oh yeah, Nemo was a 9.
I give that one a 7.5.
I love Finding Nemo.
Like I say, I think I would have rated it higher if I hadn't seen it as much.
That's understandable. That's how I feel about, I guess, about Toy Story. Like, maybe I gotta watch it again. It's really good.
Mm.
But, yeah.
But The Incredibles
Is incredible.
it really is.
From what I remember, I really liked it. I just haven't seen it a lot.
It's it's just a solid. The fact that it's like, it touches on a slightly darker theme, but just it's
Yeah,
PG.
like just family dynamics in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brad Bird, I believe he directed it. No, I think it was John Lasseter, but he worked on it. And Brad Bird as a character designer is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And it's got
Apparent,
Frozone. It gave us.
it's Samuel Jackson as Frozen. Where's my super
I was
suck?
about to say, as much as I love Toy Story, that scene might be my single favorite Pixar scene.
Frozen.
I
Oh
am
wait,
the
no, that was
greatest good.
no, that was the theme in the second movie, right?
Yes.
Frozen. That we'll get to that. That's a good theme. But yeah, well, I'm your wife. I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get. That was just.
That might be the single greatest Pixar scene.
It's amazing, and then the animation is really smooth, very lively. I've heard that that Brad Bird with his character designs, he
Mm-hmm.
usually draws them first and then animates them.
Yes.
So they still look very cartoony, but very still the animation is very smooth, but also very emotive. If that's the
And
right
just
word.
in the background pieces in this, like the scene where Dash is running through the island,
Oh yeah.
like it's not in it. They put excuse me, a ton of work into shots that were only in it for a few seconds, but they look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Of
a kid, I had a
course.
crush on the assistant girl.
Oh, the one with the gray hair, right?
Yeah, she was pretty hot.
Now, as you have a crush on her as a kid, but as an adult, you get that Mrs. Incredible. That's what you like as an adult.
She thick.
She's dummy thick, and she could probably make herself thicker.
Yeah.
And of course, Edna Moog. No
Oh.
capes. I've heard that's Brad Bird actually voicing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna check this because this is a thing. If it's true, then that's amazing. Yeah, Brad Bird voiced Edna Mode in this movie.
That
is amazing.
that is fantastic.
That bumps the movie up to a 10. I haven't seen it a lot, so I will give it just like a solid 8. But if I rewatch it again, then I'll see if I have to
Might bump it up, bump it down, depending. I'm gonna give it a 8.5.
Yeah, it's still a great movie.
I will sit down and watch that. Even other than Toy Story, that might be my favorite one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Cars. I don't get it. I don't get Cars.
Cars 1, I don't love, but I don't hate.
I could do with or without it. I just don't. I don't find, like, all the other ones before this, I've been like, yeah, let me pick this up and I totally watch this if it's on TV, or hey, it's on Disney Plus, let's watch it again. I don't feel that way with Cars.
There's some good jokes in it, but they're jokes that after you've heard them once, they lose the appeal.
Yeah. Also, like, it's a very specific audience for those jokes, like car people.
Well, I will give the when he's the piston cup. He what in his cup?
Okay, that was really good. That's really that. Okay, now that I remember that one, yeah, I won't say it's bad. I just don't really understand it, and I don't really get it. Why? You know what? No, I do get it. You want to know why?
Why?
Toys. This is the first first Pixar movie that I feel was made specifically with
merchandising.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, Toy Story is a lot of merchandise because they're literally toys.
Legitimate toys. Yeah, they were things that existed before the movie, other than Buzz and Woody.
Yeah, but it feels like there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really good jokes about toys or whatever, and there's a lot of story to be told, and But with Cars, I don't feel that, and
Yeah, I feel the story was probably the
it was
most
weak.
lacking of like the
Yeah,
golden age of Pixar.
yeah. Like the characters are okay. Lightning McQueen is okay. He's not really that interesting. The
Best
love
character in that movie is
interests.
Chicks,
Which one was that?
the green
Actually,
one, his rival.
oh, Kachiga, anyway. Uh, the love interest in that movie is super boring.
They got away.
Super
They got
boring.
away with the flashing joke, which
Oh yeah, that
surprises me to this
was
day.
yeah. Yeah. And doesn't he ask like their model or age or something?
I think so.
I feel like either that or like that's a joke someone made. I feel like Mater is real hit or miss. Like some of the stuff he says is really funny. Larry the
He
Cable
was thrown
Guy,
because that was probably when Larry the Cable Guy was like at the height of his popularity, wasn't
yeah,
it?
like I was like, oh my god, it's Larry the Cable Guy, 2006. So
Yeah, it's he was. Oh yeah, there was like you said, some like he
mhm.
what in his
The
cup was
Piston
funny,
Cup is really good,
or
but
the
like
very
the
the very end cracks me up when he says, "I'm happier than a tornado in a trailer park."
yeah, but then there's stuff like I'm Mater, like tomato without the t. I'm like,
Duh.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
painful.
just
That's painful. Yeah. So I honestly, if I'm being real, I would give this movie a 5 out of 10. Super average.
I would say 5.5 for me. Like I would put it just above average. Like it's still enjoyable, but it's just not
Yeah. The
great.
the the best part of the movie for me is that when they do the blooper thing, but it's all they do a bunch of Pixar movies as cars.
That was.
That's funny. I'll give it to them.
Or I get. There's a bit that I like when he's looking for Mac. I ain't no Mac. I'm a Peterbilt. That one cracked me up as a kid because I had a real close friend whose dad was a truck driver who drove a Peterbilt. So
Oh, see,
I
that's
felt I was in on the joke.
I didn't get the joke. I was like, what? Because I didn't know that was a type of car.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it.
It was
So
okay.
it's an okay movie. I feel like I'm really hard on this movie for no reason, but I guess
Eh,
just because of what I expect from Pixar.
yeah, up until that point, like just the hit after hit after hit.
It's like Cars. It's like, oh, okay. The next one though,
Hmm.
I would say is probably my favorite Pixar movie. Ratatouille. In my opinion, that's the best Pixar movie. 10 out of 10.
See, I'm not gonna rate it that high, but I did really enjoy Ratatouille.
Yeah. Here's why, I would say.
Hmm.
I feel like not only is the writing really good, there's like always, there's some good funny jokes. The animation is stellar.
Hmm.
Like
The animation is really nice in that movie.
I would feel besides maybe Finding Nemo, up until that point, it's probably the best looking movie.
Yeah,
Like
see, I would hope so though, just because as they're learning as time goes on,
yeah.
computers get more powerful.
Yeah, and then of course the ending, I feel like that's probably the critic rant. I feel like that's probably
Hmm.
one of the best written scenes like just in movies.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, like it describes a critic's place in the world, and that's just not something you really see. Like there's not a whole lot of like I guess critique.
Yeah, you don't think about critics. It's either they're just there.
You love them or you hate them or you don't really care, but it's just a very well written scene. And of course, when he bites into the ratatouille and goes back to his
Hmm.
childhood, that's just ooh, because we've all felt that. You know,
Yes,
we've all been like, oh shoot, I remember this. You know.
it just that's how I feel about Toy Story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I understand that. I understand that.
The way he feels
Uh,
about Ratatouille is how I feel about Toy Story.
and that's probably how I feel about the movie too.
Hmm.
Yeah. That I hold it probably as close as you do for and also I guess this is more of a personal take. I love cooking.
Yes, I was about to
I
say this is right up your alley too, because it's about
It's about cooking.
which is something you're very passionate about.
I'm not super great. I think I'm decent, but I love cooking.
Oh shit! All the stuff you send me on Snapchat, like you know what you're doing.
I love basil anyway. But yeah, so the only thing I would say, and this really isn't too big of a problem because there's so much else going on in the movie,
Hmm.
another kind of weak villain. The little French guy, he's
Oh
angry.
yeah, See, I
but
didn't. I didn't even feel like he was really a villain. I didn't feel like there was much of a villain in the movie. Like
yeah, I
he
guess
was
maybe
an
that was the point.
yeah, he was an
But
antagonist, but he wasn't like a villain.
yeah, I would say he's okay, but he's. Although I love the ragtag team of chefs, like the I killed a man with this thumb,
Oh yes.
like that. Like I would have actually, if the only thing I would change is I probably would have had just a few more scenes with them
Mhm.
because I wanted to learn more about these characters.
See, I feel like how little they're in it though adds to the humor because it just leaves it all to your imagination.
Yeah, like the guy that's like, he shows up and he goes in the closet for like an hour, and they're like, no one knows why, and they just never go back to it again. And then unlike Cars, I would say this movie has a really good love interest. Like the female love interest is she's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Do you
I
say
love her
that because
voice
you're attracted to her?
a little bit. She's pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie,
She
but
rides a motorcycle.
I love her accent too. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
really good French accent. I don't know if the actor is actually French, but
They got it. They even I don't know if it's actually accurate, but it is exactly what they needed for that movie.
mm-hmm. And then I guess we haven't really talked about the main characters. I would say that while Linguini's not the most interesting
Mm-hmm. He's a good vessel
antagonist,
for
Remy.
yes.
And Remy's great. Patton Oswalt is amazing in this movie.
He's normally pretty good in what he does, but yeah, he knocked it out of the park in that one.
I feel like his voice just fits. Maybe because he kind of looks like a rat. That's just mean. I don't know why I said that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but like he does really well. And Linguini's he's just a very, you want to see him succeed because he's nice.
Yeah, he's one of those that like you want things to go right for him.
He's kind of a goof, but you like him anyway. The scene with the sunglasses where he's sleeping is still really funny. But yeah, so I would, and then this is another one with a score, like that French song that Les Emotions.
I love that. I love all the memes that's in now.
Oh yeah, there's so many Pixar memes. It's great. I love that.
I think it's because we all grew up with them, so like we relate.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say, but the brother's funny too. The brother rat, he's really funny.
I like
it reminds me of the dad rat's pretty cool. The brother rat, honestly, the dynamic reminds me of me and my brother, so I guess that's why I relate to it a little more as well.
Are you Remy?
Yes, I'm always the main character. No, but yeah, I'm like the weird one, and then my brother's like, hey, yeah. I was trying to do the rat's voice, but it didn't work. He's I'm detecting nuttiness.
That is all I'm gonna picture your brother saying from now on. Walking around the house. Hey,
hey, what's up?
Hey,
hey.
Hey, Derek, did you touch my Xbox?
Hey, whoa. Now we're going to like Ray Romano. Whoa, everybody loves Raymond.
I think he just had a stroke.
This podcast doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but 10 out of 10 for this movie. I love it so much.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
You're wrong, but it's okay.
Okay.
The next one is WALL-E. This is one I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I saw it when I was very young because when it came out, I was 12, and I was like, this is boring, and I never watched it again. But I need to watch it again now that I'm an adult.
See, I watched it when I was like 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm. And so you're able to appreciate it a little more.
A little more, yeah. I think I would appreciate it even more now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but,
just because of the message and all that.
At the time, I would give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, because everyone says this is the best one.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's the case, but it was enjoyable.
I won't really give it a rating. I will say I'll get back to you guys.
This is a TBD to be determined.
TBD.
Nuts.
More like CBD. Hey. Anyway, but
we getting high? I'm trying to get high on CBD, bro.
I'm trying to get CB dazed and confused.
It says cannabinoids. That sounds like cannabis. Like
Yeah, more
Why
like
am I getting high, bro? I've eaten like 18 CBD brownies.
cannibals. Are those people that smoke a lot of weed? Anyway, the next one, I actually just watched this today. Up. Now this is a good movie.
That is one. The movie itself is good, but those first like
The
5 minutes.
first 10 minutes, yeah. I will say the movie doesn't ever reach that peak again.
Yeah, no, that is, I was gonna say, like, that little bit is a 10 out of 10. The rest of the movie, like, 7 out of 10.
7 to 8, because it's good. It's good. It's a solid movie, but it just doesn't go back to that
They just,
height.
yeah, they fucked themselves over by putting some of the best, like,
Yeah.
my family had never seen it, and I showed them that, like, my mom was tearing up at it.
Yeah, my mom too. Like, and it feels a little bit jumbled. Like they wanted to make two different movies, you know. But there's some really good gags, like the dog, all the stuff with the dogs, like Tiny Mailman, like that cracks me up. I don't know why. I don't know why the dog humor gets me.
I thought the dog, just from the commercials, I thought the dogs were gonna be annoying and I wasn't gonna like them, but I felt like they were done well.
You know, like when they have the big dog and like you don't hear his voice, but then it's so stupid. Like it's not even that clever of a gag. But the high pitched voice on that big dog is just hilarious.
It's sometimes you need that goofy or just dumb humor though.
Because it's just so out of nowhere. It's just like,
so what did you think of the villain in this one?
Yeah, I guess I guess now I'm kind of a villain guy. I'm very hard on villains for some reason because I like good villains. This one was decent, not great.
For an old man, he was pretty scary.
I would say he was menacing. It's just that they didn't give him a whole lot to say, I guess.
He could have been fleshed out better.
Yeah, they didn't give him a whole lot of like I would have loved to see like more of, because they said the whole thing is that he went crazy. It would have been nice. Like, obviously, he's trying to kill an old man and a child, which is pretty crazy, but he just seems like.
If you work in retail, you'd understand.
Yeah, okay, I do work in retail, I get that. But it would have been nice to see more of that crazy side, like, go all the way with it. So, I would say he's okay. But yeah, so I would give as a whole, probably an 8 out of 10.
I would say about 8 out of 10. Because, like, the first little bit makes up for the 7 out of 10 of the rest of the movie. That gets the point bump.
I've heard this phrase being used to describe other movies, and I think it fits this one. This is a great movie wrapped up in a good movie package. You know what I'm saying?
That is actually a perfect way to describe that movie.
Yeah. Like, there's a great movie there, but there's enough to bog it down to make it just good.
If it would have had a little more time of people, maybe trimming some stuff away, adding some stuff to it, like the foundation's there.
Yeah, like maybe just a little bit more cohesion, I would say. Yeah. The next movie is Toy Story 3. I know how much you love Toy Story.
Yeah, I do. This one, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10, though.
Yeah, out of all the Toy Stories, I'd probably say this is the weakest.
I know at the time people were saying it was the best one. I've never felt that way. I did really enjoy it. I thought Spanish Buzz was hilarious.
Spanish Buzz is hilarious. Lotso's pretty menacing.
Lotso was a good villain. Ken in that movie was fantastic.
Ken and Barbie is great.
They made that movie.
Also, the tortilla scene with Potato Head was great too. There's a lot of really good stuff in this movie. It's just I don't know. I guess when you look at it opposed to all the other ones,
yeah, I feel like it captures the magic, but it doesn't quite reach the highs. So,
although I will say, at the time, man, especially that animation was insane.
Oh, it still looks great.
Really good. It looks great because especially if you go from 1 to 3, it's like whoa.
Yeah, it's like this is obviously the same characters, but they just look so much. It's like going from like early PS2 to like now graphics.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, whoa. And then that ending probably bumps it up a little bit for me.
My favorite is still the video where the guy edited the movie to cut off as they're going into the furnace, and that's just it cuts cuts to the credits with a sad version of You've Got a Friend in Me. It's like a slowed down version. And he showed it to his mom, and she just starts crying. She's like, "That's a horrible ending."
Why is that making me laugh?
Because it's hysterical.
I love that. Oh god, that's terrible. I love it though. That's great. Yeah, not a crazy amount to say about this one. It's good. It's solid. There's a lot of really good gags.
If you like Toy Story, definitely watch it. But
for sure, yeah. I guess I'm going with an 8.
I'll go 9.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm being so hard on these Toy Story movies. I love them.
I know you got the better a good movie deserves to be critiqued hard.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe I just love Ratatouille so much. That's probably what it is. Cars 2. This is the one everyone says is the worst Pixar movie.
I couldn't watch the whole thing. I'm gonna be honest.
I've never seen it, but
I watched about half of it, and it just is. It's not good. The Cars franchise is, I think, the weakest one in the Pixar catalog.
And it's weird because isn't this the one John Lasseter loves the most? Like, this is his baby.
I think so.
Like, they keep making them. So
he's been there so long that he just has free reign. But maybe it's kind of the same thing with George Lucas. You need people around you to kind of.
Yeah, the reason the Star Wars movies were so good is you had the visionary, but then you had the help.
Yep.
To like ring it back and be like, okay, George, Jar Jar may be a little too much. Let's back it up.
So, Cars 2 is I'm gonna say 3 out of 10.
More like a Cars poo. I'll give it a got him. I won't give it a rating because I haven't seen it, but I really don't want to. If I ever do a YouTube video where I just do all the Pixar movies, which I'm kind of tempted to do, I'll talk about it there.
Yeah, until then, you're not missing anything.
Would you watch that video, Colton?
I would, yeah. I watch all your videos. I'm a good friend.
Thanks, Colton. Do you listen to the podcasts like out just
I
to
actually
listen
do.
to it?
I listen to an episode. I don't listen to them. I used to listen to like every episode multiple times. Now I just listen to it once. But I do listen to all of them.
Yeah, my ex's friends, or my ex and her friends would always say that was weird. I'm like, that's not weird.
No, I mean you want to see the finished product.
Yeah, there's something about listening to yourself that's kind of cool, especially in the car.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to pass time.
Yeah. The next one is Brave. This is another one I haven't seen, but I know a lot of people dislike it.
See, I had nothing against. To me, though, it felt like because this was released about the same time as Wreck-It Ralph, and to me. It's common theory, but this feels more like it was just a Disney movie.
A Disney by itself, and Wreck-It Ralph
felt like the Pixar movie. It feels like they flipped studios.
I love Wreck-It Ralph. You know what? Instead of Brave, let's just talk about Wreck-It Ralph. No,
Brave isn't bad. It's just, to me, it's very forgettable. Like
it's another one. It's another one of those ones that people say is kind of jumbled.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't have a cohesive like story really.
The oldest of my little sisters loved this movie. Like, she was always into like archery and that type of stuff, and once she saw this, she just went nuts with it.
Yeah, I heard that she doesn't really even do that much like archery in the movie.
Mm-mm.
Like all the posters are her with the arrow.
It's like the one scene.
Yeah,
I would give it honestly a 5 out of 10 though. Just you're very. The animation in it's beautiful. Like it looks great.
I will say the character design's pretty cool too. Like for a Disney princess, that it's a very different design.
It's like I said, very very. It's not bad. It's not good. I would like straight 5. Just very average.
Hey, I feel that. I'm a straight 5.
Better than below average.
Hey. The next one, I know this is a string of 3 Pixar movies that I just skipped out on.
Mm-hmm.
Monsters University.
I got to see that in an early screening.
Really? How?
Yeah.
You knew someone that worked at a movie theater, or?
My cousin, there was a promotion by her internet company or something that she got tickets to an advanced screening. She got 2 of them. She decided that she knew I liked the first one, she's like, "You could come too." So I went and saw it, and it's enjoyable.
I've from what I've heard people say, if you've seen a college movie, you've seen Monsters University.
To me, it felt completely unnecessary,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not bad, especially because like I really really enjoyed the first, so just to see those characters back was cool.
Yeah. I think also what people wanted was, and we were talking about this before the podcast, they wanted a sequel.
A
They wanted to
continuation
see,
of those.
hmm they wanted to see what happened with Boo, like what's going on with the laughter thing. Also, this doesn't this like go against the canon of the first one, because Mike mentions that he knew Sully in kindergarten or grade
Yeah,
school. And
yeah,
this one's
from
like,
being kids.
yeah, and this one's like, oh no, they met in college. It's like, wait,
Yeah, like I said, one of those just unnecessary, not terrible. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. Like it was enjoyable, but it's nothing like
super.
you don't seek it out. But if it's on,
And you wanna, you know what? I think I'm gonna say it. I think I'm gonna do a Pixar video. So because there's a lot that I missed out on.
go through the after the golden age.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably watch them all just to get like a fresh view for all of them. But yeah, this is definitely one that I'm gonna have to see, because sometimes I'm a contrarian. I might really like it. So I
Man,
don't know.
like I said, I have nothing against it. I don't think it's as strong as the classics, but it's not bad.
I think seeing Randall as a nerd's pretty funny.
The
But
scene where the mom is like, "I'm just gonna listen to my tunes," and I think it's Mastodon that she puts
really,
on. Yeah, that was actually pretty, like, took me by surprise, but I enjoyed it.
you do have a soft spot for movies that use metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, what made you want to see Secret Life of Pets was that poodle scene.
Yep. That was the any movie that has metal in it. I will.
Yeah, was that a real song or was that just something made up?
Oh no, the poodle scene.
Yeah,
I believe it's Bounced by System of a Down.
really.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How was the movie? I've heard some people say they liked it. Some people say it was kind of garbage.
It was okay.
So you're right in the middle.
Yeah, it was.
You know what? Would be really good?
Mm-hmm.
There's not many. We need to do an Illumination podcast.
Some of them I actually do really enjoy. Like, did they do Sing? Was that?
Yes.
I actually really like that movie.
But that means we're going to have to watch Hop. And I've heard that's really bad.
I forgot that movie existed.
The next one is Inside Out. I think this is a very, very good movie.
See, I actually haven't seen Inside Out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. I guess I'll do most of the talking here.
Yeah, from this point onward, I've seen some of them, but this is where my seeing these is gonna fall off.
Okay. I really like this movie. I think the voice cast is really good. A lot of the jokes were pretty funny. It's a good way to explain emotions to younger kids. I think they did a really good job.
Just not beat it into them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's a good way to be like, hey, and the message is
No, I meant physically beat your kids until
just
they
like punch them.
understand fear.
Emotions. Sounds like my childhood. Do you care for spoilers? Because I was gonna say something about the ending.
I've read the plot of it at one point because I was
Yeah,
like, I'm curious what it's about.
The ending does it basically is like, because Joy's the real, like, the main emotion, whatever, and then sadness is also there, but Joy sees sadness as kind of like, hey, you're messing things up.
Yeah.
But the ending scene is like, one of the most important memories is a sad memory that shapes the girl into who she is.
It's
like
her parents' suicide notes.
Yeah, she's reading it, and it's like, whoa, this is really depressing. They actually showed the parents inside the nooses, which was really different.
It got real dark for a Pixar.
Yeah, I was like, huh? And then Angry was like, a suicide's funny, and then the movie just ends. No, yeah, I think she falls or something while what do you call it? Ice skating or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something to do with snow. But it kind of just shows like you can't always be happy. You need that sadness to kind of enjoy the happy moments. And I was like, whoa.
Like that's also that scene, and not Pixar at all, but the South Park where Butters gets dumped or whatever, and he's sitting in the rain all sad, and the goth kids are like asking if he wants to be part of them, and they're like, well, aren't you sad? He's like, yeah, but that's kind of the good thing, because as sad as I am now, that means I was happy at some point. You can't be happy without sad. And it's this like whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much the message of the movie. Yeah.
Because if you were happy all the time, what would be the point of it? You need moments to bring you down to make the happiness worth it.
Yeah, like it's like Adam Sandler movies. For every, I don't know, what's a really good Adam Sandler movie? 50 First Dates or something. You have for every 50 First Dates, there's a Jack and Jill. Both need to exist.
I suppose.
There's even like really subtle things, like little touches, like when they go into different people's bodies and show their emotions. Everyone has a main emotion who's kind of at the
helm.
At the helm. Like for the girl, it's happiness or joy.
Mm-hmm.
But when they go into the dad's head, the main one is anger. When they go into the mom's head, the main one is sadness.
Is the dad a raging alcoholic? Is that why he's always angry and the mom's sad?
Yeah, I guess maybe the mom has like depression or something. Like it's kind of dark, and then the dad kind of uses his like dad anger to like, you know,
AKA the beer.
Yeah, the abusive father. Yes. But yeah, I just think it's a very interesting idea, and it also has a villain that you don't, or not a villain, sorry. It also has a character that I thought was going to be a villain. There's like an old imaginary friend they find inside the head. She's like, he's like, I want to
That
go
sounds
back
like schizophrenia.
It's like, he's like, I'm the girl's imaginary friend from when she was 5. I want to go back to the brain with you so she can remember me. And I was like, okay, here's the villain. He's going to try to sabotage everything. He's like, no, I want her all to myself. But no, they don't do that.
Yeah, he's just a memory that she has. It's a foundation of who she is.
It's like, okay, good for this movie. There's not really an antagonist.
Can we have a Pixar movie that deals with schizophrenia? Like a sequel to this?
Yeah, that's what The Good Dinosaur's about, actually. We're about to go into that. No. But yeah, so I would say 9.5. It's
okay.
Really good.
I need to watch this then. I
enjoy this one a lot. The next one's The Good Dinosaur. Didn't see it.
I had no desire to see it.
I didn't. From what I hear, like the animation's beautiful, and people were like, some parts are good, but a lot of it's bad.
It looked like the worst Pixar movie.
Yeah, you think people will get mad if we skip it?
No.
All right. Well, TBD.
It's bad.
Finding Dory. A lot of people dislike this movie.
Again, I feel like this is a Monsters University scenario where it's like, it wasn't horrible, it wasn't great.
I really liked it. I really, really liked it.
I thought it was okay.
I think, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Bryan Cranston?
Bryan Cranston as the octopus was great.
Was that Bryan Cranston?
Yeah.
There was a lot of real famous voices in this. I forget.
Yeah, there was.
I know Dee from Always Sunny's in it. She's the whale.
Is she the whale? Yeah,
yes.
That was. That's actually a good. I feel like that's a funny callback because she does the whale voice, and they're like, "Oh, this is what
I
she
did like
from.
that scene a lot.
I was like, "That's cute. I like that." It was and the animation, as good as Finding Nemo was, this one.
Oh, it might be my favorite, like just pure animation.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous movie, and I noticed kind of in this movie that Nemo has a little bit more of a presence or like a character.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he's constantly like, we gotta find Dory, like Dad, like Dory's our best friend, and he's like talking to his dad like a character, and I was like, whoa.
See, in the first one, he was more of a plot device. I mean, the whole Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, but
yeah, where he be?
But it feels like he grew up a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay. And there's still some really good gags, like Ed with the seal, off, like that cracks me up. Or Becky's eating a cup.
Yeah, like because I've only seen it once. I watched it with my littlest sister. I'll have to go back and rewatch it on my own to where I can pay a little more attention to it.
I think I've only seen it once or twice, but I don't know, something about it just stuck with me. I guess because I love the first one. I don't know,
Hmm.
but I really liked it. It's a
Yeah,
good movie.
I would give it like a 6.5.
I would probably still give it like a good 7 to 8. Like
Okay.
I still really like it. Cars 3.
Didn't watch
Didn't see
that
it.
one.
Didn't see it. People said it's the best out of the Cars movies, so I guess we'll take their word.
I heard the video game was actually really good.
Yo, I've heard these Cars games, aside from maybe a few, are actually pretty
I
fire.
had Cars 1 on the Wii, and that shit was fun as hell to little me.
Life is a highway. You know, wasn't that a cover, that Rascal Flatts cover made for Cars?
Yes.
It's a darn good cover, though.
I hate Rascal Flatts.
I I don't have any feelings towards them, but man, do I love that song. Something about like just the way that when the chorus comes up, he hits it.
He
Like
do
he
he do
sells
go
it.
hard.
He goes hard. Life is a high. Like he goes
He's
goes
like,
in.
this is gonna be in a Pixar movie. This is gonna pay for my kids' college.
He's like, come on, we
my
gotta
best.
try. Like even if you hate Rascal Flatts, you gotta admit that at least.
I
Like
will
he
give
goes
him,
hard in the paint.
I will give him he went hard and he tried. I'm not gonna say I like it, but I appreciate the amount of effort that he put into it.
Yeah, because the original's still a good song, but man, this it hits. Like
See,
it's,
I don't even really like the original all that much either. Though maybe it's just I don't
Really?
like the song.
maybe you just don't like the song. I don't know. Like I was listening to it recently while I was driving, and I was like, this is a good feeling.
You're on the treadmill. Life
You
is
know what?
a
I haven't played
highway.
that while running, but I think I should. All right. Well, I guess there's. We really didn't talk about Cars 3, but
Yeah, no.
Rascal Flatts the movie gets a 7 out of 10. No, Cars 3. I guess we'll TBD that one too.
Yeah, haven't seen it. I really had no desire to see it though.
I didn't, but the trailer was dark. Didn't they show Lightning McQueen like dying?
Yeah.
I've heard it's the best out of the Cars trilogy, so
So not saying much.
that's not saying a whole lot. I get like okay, so comparing to like other studios, they're probably
Even if their
still,
worst is still pretty okay.
yeah, like this
Other
is
than
still
Cars
like a
2.
good, yes, other from Cars 2. And even then, Cars 2 is still just mediocre, not garbage.
Mm-hmm.
But the next one, ooh, I have a lot to say about the next one. Coco. Oh, Coco, man. Please tell me you've seen it.
I was gonna start saying, what's the? I don't even know who it's by, but I'm in love with the Coco.
I'm in love with the Coco.
See,
Have you seen it? You've
I
seen
have.
it.
I really. I'm gonna sound bad. I had no desire to see it until, my dad actually, because my family watched it, and my little sister's like, yeah, it was good. But I was like, yeah, whatever. You're little kids. What do you know? But my dad was like, I went into it with no expectations. I really enjoyed that. And I was like,
I adore this movie.
mhm.
And I think just this is a way to do representation right.
Yeah, I was about to say, even though I am not Hispanic myself, growing up in San Antonio, I am
Oh,
around
yeah,
the culture.
Even
so
if
to
you're
see
not
that
like
represented well.
That's the thing about San Antonio is even if you're not Hispanic, you're Hispanic.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you've
I've-
seen so much of the culture.
Have I ever told the story of when I thought I was going to get shot at McCreeless?
No, what?
I went to see Avengers. What's the second one? Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And there were some dudes playing some Tejano music in the parking lot, and I did I can't do it right now because Mike is asleep, but I did the the yell.
Oh,
And,
you did the grito.
yeah, and I can actually do it. Like I said, I can't do it.
I feel
now
like I've
'cause
heard you. I feel like I've heard you do it. So.
don't want to wake Micah up, but so I did that, and then I realized I was like, I'm a 19-year-old scrawny white dude. Like that might be insensitive. That might not be good. And they looked at me, and they started laughing up. They're like, "Hey, white boy can do it."
Yeah, that's what I'm. Because I think I don't know if it's just here, but Latinos definitely in here.
Mm-hmm.
They just love other people joining their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like they enjoy it. They embrace it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And I love that because I love the culture.
It's a great culture. Like
food
it's
is amazing.
Especially, ooh, yes. But I feel like I'm half Latino, so I'm half Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm not super close to my roots, a lot of the stuff in the movie, I was like, oh, I've seen this.
It hits close. You're like, oh shit.
Like even just little things where the grandma was, or the yeah, I think it's the grandma. She
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Hey, do you want some more tamales?" And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh no, gracias." And she was like, "What did you say?" And he's like, see." And like, because my mom was a lot. She's still like that actually.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh no, eat, eat. Like I've made all this food. Please eat." You know, my
Yeah,
mom doesn't
'cause-
sound like that, but
and like with the previous girlfriends I've had before Kaylee, I've only dated Mexican girls, so I was
Mm,
around that culture, especially with my previous girlfriend, because I was around her family all the time.
yeah, my
So I
ex was
was,
super Mexican too.
mm-hmm.
So
So I really, that was like when I got like in the shit.
yeah, and the colors, the
Oh,
animation,
it's beautiful.
the character design, like oh, so beautiful. Like the world of the dead, oddly enough, looks so alive.
Mm-hmm.
Such a beautiful
See, I
movie.
heard people criticizing. The only criticism I heard was that people were saying like they were trying to copy, what is it, the Book of Life?
The Book of Life. I've heard the Book of Life's pretty good too.
Yeah,
But then I've heard people say that they're still pretty different.
different.
It's
Yeah, I think
kind of
it's just
like
themes.
it's kind of like comparing two Christmas movies. It's like it's a holiday, and it's gonna have similar
Yeah,
things about it.
I think
You
it
know?
just got that criticism because up until that point there hadn't been that type
Yeah.
of
There's not a
representation.
whole lot of Dia de los Muertos movies.
But yeah, no, it was Coco very good.
Yeah. It's and the soundtrack as well.
The
Like
soundtrack is
it's banging. I
fire.
love Remember Me because they play it in so many styles.
Mm-hmm. I
And
thought that was a
yes,
really cool touch.
yeah. The ending, I bawled. I cried like a baby.
I thought you were gonna say I cried like a bitch.
I cried like no, yeah. I cried like oh man, because I guess I don't know if it's because I don't have grandparents or because I'm very close with my own parents, but
Mm-hmm.
man, that was emotional.
See,
And also,
it didn't get the Toy Story cry out of me, but it did get some
no,
watery eyes.
this probably got the hardest cry of out of any movie. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe because maybe it was the Mexican that came out.
I
Like
think it
I
even
just
made
don't.
my dad cry, which when he told me that, I was like, "What?"
You're like father crying. And yeah, when it comes to representation, like I think if you do, because it seemed just a very genuine movie,
Mm-hmm. Like
like
they
a lot of heart behind it. You know?
care, yeah. Like they
Yeah,
wasn't just shoehorned. Like how do we make money off of our Hispanic viewers?
yeah. The only thing that seemed to piss people off was them putting a Frozen short that was 20 minutes long in the original run in theaters.
Yeah, that was more of a short film, not just a short.
Yeah, no, it wasn't because the shorts themselves are like 5 minutes and
Mm-hmm.
less than that. And it just seemed to people it's like people aren't gonna come see this Mexican movie. Gotta get the whiteys in somehow. Let's put Frozen.
Oh,
You know,
dude,
it's like
next time we got to do like we're doing Pixar movies now. We got to do Pixar shorts,
ooh, I need to buy those DVDs and watch all of them.
and I will talk on why Jerry's Game is the best one.
That's the chess one, right?
Yes, I love that one.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
down to the last three.
Yeah, Coco. What do you give it?
10 out of 10.
I give it
11
8.5. 8.5
11
out of 10.
You know what?
Better than
I don't-
Ratatouille.
I was gonna say I don't love it as much as Ratatouille, but I guess it just means a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like it hits you more on an emotional level.
Emotional, personal. It's kind of like when I found out about Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like yeah, he's probably not the best Spider-Man, but
He's not Tobey Maguire, but I appreciate it more.
yeah, I relate. I super relate. But yeah, so 10 out of 10. Great. I probably love it just as much. I will say.
Okay.
Yeah.
High praise.
Incredibles 2. I saw this on a date.
I watched
and
it
she
on...
never texted back, so
Oh.
I hate this movie.
Bad
Oh,
memories.
man. The date went so terribly.
When was this? I guess it was when Incredibles 2 came out, but...
Yeah, I was still working at the theater, and there was a manager, and his sister was... Anyway, so I asked her I got her number, because I would always see her, and I would always, hug her, and she'd be like, oh, she would always be so happy to see me, and we would hug, and, I would pick her up, and she'd be like, oh, hee. So I got her number, and we were texting and talking, and I was like, oh, yeah, let's go watch a movie and get some dinner. She was like, cool. And on the phone and texting, it was going super great. But in the movie, I don't know, something was just off or awkward, and like I was sitting next to her, and it took me like 30. I think I'm just an awkward person,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, and so like it took me 30 minutes to be like, hey, can I put my arm around you? Because I just don't have that much date
Yeah, I was
experience,
when I first
you know?
started dating Kaylee. Like we saw Endgame together,
That's right. Yeah,
and
was that awkward?
it wasn't. But it was just like the entire time I was like, do I put my arm around her? What do I do?
Yeah, I remember we were because this is before I was driving,
Mm-hmm.
so we went to the theater and we went to a restaurant next door. I
Which
was
one do you
on
go
the
to?
We went to Roadhouse.
Okay, Texas Roadhouse, always
Yeah.
good. Always
So
good.
on the way, I think either on the way there or on the way back, I was like, "Can I hold your hand?" She's like, "Oh, I don't really hold hands on the first date."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right."
So
I was like,
we
"So no
not
head?
fucking.
So no head? No." Yeah, and then she just ghosted. Like she just stopped texting back after that date. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
So Incredibles 2, 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. It's good.
Yeah, it's not up to the first one, but it's
Yeah, I will say it's disappointing, but man, those theme songs, Mr. Incredible.
I'll say 6.8 out of 10. Right below a 7.
Yeah, this is another one where I find the villain to be extremely weak. Yeah, especially compared. Oh, we didn't talk about Syndrome in the first
Syndrome
one.
was incredible.
Great villain, great backstory, great voice acting, great lines. There is no. Oh no, that I was about to quote Megamind for some reason. That's not what I wanted.
The when she's got the S for Sinner. I was gonna have BS, but I didn't want to be walking around.
Yeah, but this one's villain, it's like a disgruntled secretary essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mayor's sister.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, what? Oh, okay. The Jack stuff was really funny. I find the best scenes were honestly when Mr. Incredible was trying to take care of
Him
the
just
kids.
being a dad.
Yeah, and him being tired. Like that was funny. You know, and
and I feel like I don't have kids, but I feel like for parents that was actually very relatable.
yeah, very because the first one is very like mature and adult, and I feel like that was something in this movie for the parents. He's like, math is math. Like that part gets me.
The memes that have come out of that, just blank is blank.
Yeah, like this is the Blink-182 podcast, and there's one with like, oh, do you like Blink-182 with Tom DeLonge or without Tom DeLonge? He's like, Blink-182 is Blink-182. Like, yeah, that's great. There's a lot of memes from this one actually.
Yeah.
I think was it this one that was like the we can get closer, and like the face Mr. Incredible makes, that became a meme.
Yes.
Okay, so great memes. Decent movie. Good. It's good.
That's why 6.8.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say
right
probably
under 7.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6.8. We'll do that. Good. It's a good movie. It's good.
Bad memories with it. Good movie.
Yeah, I don't know why my voice is getting high pitched. It's good. It's good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, the short before this movie.
I don't. What was the short? Because
Bao. That was the one with the dumplings. Where she makes the dumpling.
Yes. Okay. Because I saw, like I said, I saw this on Disney Plus, so I didn't remember the short.
That was another awkward thing. I was trying not to cry because I was on a date, but man, that was an emotional short.
You should have shown her you were a sensitive man.
Yeah, that's exactly what every girl wants to see on a first date. A crying man crying at a Chinese animated lady.
Yeah.
That really wets the panties.
Oh yeah, that's how I got Kaylee.
Is it really?
No.
Oh god. You know what? We're gonna have to have a pod.
How I got her was playing Never Have I Ever with her friends, and they were all being boring. I was like, "We gotta go. Have you ever put anything up your butt?" And they're like, "Have you?" I was like, "Yeah."
Is that really what got her to like you?
I don't know if that was it, but that is exactly what happened the first time we hung out.
That's a great story. We're gonna have how you met Kaylee story podcast.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we'll bring her on, and then you'll both tell two totally different stories, and then we'll figure out that this whole relationship has been a sham, and it's really me and you who's been dating.
You're not supposed to give them like too much of a.
I mean, I'll put in some music. Did you like the last? Did you like the last podcast where I put the Dragon Ball Z title music?
Yes.
I was like, what would fit here? But yeah, so we got two more movies. Toy Story 4.
I cried.
I cried. I like it better than Toy Story 3, I would say.
I think I do too.
Yeah,
It was
it's
more,
controversial.
It was
Do you
more
realize?
just a Woody story, but
Do you realize how controversial of an opinion this is that we both have?
I mean, it's not. I have more controversial movie opinions, but
Oh yeah, specific Lion movies.
yeah.
I will say the Lion King remake sucks.
The live action one.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw it.
Live action in quotes. Live
Yeah,
action.
all CGI.
What's live action about it? Don't worry about that. But yeah, this is another one where there's not really a villain.
No, and the existential crisis.
Yeah, like I talked about this movie in my 2019 movie list, and I was like, this is a Toy Story movie that talks about what it means to be alive.
Yeah, like it went way deeper than I was expecting. Like I don't know if everybody's listening seen it, but just the end when it's them saying goodbye to each other. Like I cried. I cried so hard.
You know what I just thought about? This is a good video essay idea. I don't know if I should say it, but the Toy Story movies are, all four of them are they're like a perfect movies to watch as you're growing up, because they teach you, it's like different lessons at each stage of your like life.
See, I
like
think
the first one's like a very child centric, like don't be jealous, accept new people, accept change, whatever. Number 2 is like I guess like
don't trust somebody just because they're nice.
Yeah, or like, you know, something about your friends can backstab you, or so there's something there.
Yeah, basically, be careful who you trust.
Be careful who you trust. Toy Story 3 is like letting go. And like growing up. Toy Story 4 is like you're in your 20s and you're like, what is life?
Yeah, what am I doing?
That's a good video essay. I'm gonna have to make that.
Yeah, absolutely. That thing.
Yeah.
It is. I think that's another reason I love the series so much, is because I grew up almost at like Andy's pace.
Yeah, I think we, like, just our generation, I guess, was we were the perfect age for this type of stuff. And I think Disney and Pixar knew that.
Oh, that's exactly why they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, they knew that because right around we weren't exactly college age, but we were teenagers.
Yeah, we were high school when it came out.
I was 14. I think we were 14, so we were starting to grow up.
Yeah, like we were starting high school, but we were close enough that it was like
this will be us in a few years.
Yeah.
And then Toy Story 4, we're all in our 20s, and we're like, dang, what is life? You know, what does it mean?
Yeah, I did, and I feel like they kind of dumbed Buzz down a little bit for this one.
Yeah, because it's mostly a Woody story, like you said.
The Buzz, the bits of him listening though was kind of funny.
The inner voice stuff.
Yes.
I know some people did not like it, but the Key and Peele characters.
The Key and Peele characters were hysterical. When they're talking about like the first one where they like attacked the lady and then
the plush rush. He's like, well, we're not doing that. And then they're like, where's this going? And it's like a super extended story. Like the lady comes home and takes a bath, and then they attack her. And then
Duke Kaboom, was that his name?
Duke Boom, yeah, Keanu Reeves. Like this, in theory, this should not have worked. Like we're like, oh, we're putting Keanu Reeves because he's popular. Oh, Key and Peele are popular. Let's put them in. That should have been worked. There's talented people writing these movies.
It's what Mater should have been.
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah.
I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Ooh, you know what? 10.
Damn. Okay.
I don't find anything wrong with this movie.
I'm honestly a little surprised it went that high for you.
Yeah, I was so hard on the toy. Maybe it could be just because this is the most recent one I've seen.
You haven't been burnt out on it yet, yeah.
But it's so. And thing is, like, I watch a lot of like movie reviewers, and like I pay attention to like people with the movie reviewer sphere on like YouTube. A lot of people were hard on this movie.
Yeah, I think it was just because so many people thought like 3 ended on a note. They're like, you don't need to make more. Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
perfect ending.
I mean, I thought that, but then I watched it and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, whoa.
I went into it thinking that, but then yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is I watched the remake of Child's Play, and then it was a double feature, and then I went to go watch Toy Story 4.
I loved the I
The
didn't watch
ads
New Child's Play, but with the ad campaign that they had with, because they
where
were
they
released on the
he
same day,
killed.
right?
Yeah, it was the same weekend I think, and it was him killing Woody, or he killed Slinky, or like the
Yeah,
dinosaur.
taking out the Toy Story toys, basically.
That's a good one. I like that.
That was good
The movie
marketing.
itself was okay, but Toy Story 4 is a really good movie. Even like them bringing back Bo Peep was
Mm-hmm.
done well.
They did it, yeah. It was an interesting. Like I never would have expected that, but
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and even though the character you think is going to be the villain, that doll thingy,
Mm-hmm. Not a villain.
not a villain and sympathetic, and a lot of people hated Forky, but I love Forky.
I thought he was funny.
I thought the whole trash like that is hello, I'm trash.
That's how I feel on a daily
Yeah,
basis.
because I thought too. I was like, oh, here we go, another stupid, annoying character, but he's dumb, but like he's endearing.
And he comes to terms with like
Yeah, and
his
you
place in
see
the
him.
world.
Yeah, you see him understand, so he kind of grows too. Yeah, the only thing I'd probably say was a lot of the other characters got pushed aside, but
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that they got replaced with was still really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that big of a problem for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, and then animation. Oh my god,
It looks so good.
the rain in the beginning scene was ugh. But yeah, so I don't really find any problems. So I guess logically I would have to put it at a 10.
All right, and I gave it 9.5. So
Yeah. So I guess the 10s so far are, well, I'll tally it up when we're done. Onward, the most recent one.
I haven't seen.
It's good. I don't see me coming back to it. The ending was really good. And that's about
I do want to
it.
see it solely for the metalhead character.
Oh, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some good gags and there's some really good voice performances. Tom Holland, I'm glad he keeps getting work that isn't Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Isn't
and
he
Chris
gonna be in
Pratt's really
Uncharted?
good. Yeah, he's Nathan Drake, and he was in some historical piece too called "The Current War" about Edison and Tesla or
Oh,
Tesla.
that actually, I kind of want to watch that. That sounds really
I
cool.
know it sounds really cool. I didn't get to see it, but yeah. So I don't really have a whole lot to say. I will say some of the marketing for the first LGBT character in a Pixar movie was really it was
Overblown.
Stupid. It was stupid because it was literally one sentence.
Yeah, because even then, technically, she wasn't the first, right? Because there's a lesbian couple in Toy Story 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or in Finding Dory, I think they show a couple as well holding a baby.
They Pixar's really like trying to push like every new movie's like, this is our first gay character. This
And
is
the
our
thing
first
is,
gay character.
and the thing that I was like, if you want to make a gay character that's a character that's in it for a chunk of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
do it. That'd be cool. But they literally say, "Oh hey, my girlfriend's kids drive me crazy,"
Yeah.
and that's it. And I was like, "What?" And the thing that drives me up a wall is they claim this fake like wokeness, I guess you call it, even though the term's kind of cringy. But this fake like I guess virtue signaling, even though again that term is also very cringy because people overuse it. But they do this, and then for the Chinese cut,
They took it out.
Cut out those scenes. I was like, do you really believe the things they're saying? Do you really care about these things?
They're just trying to do it for publicity.
Yeah, and they're just trying to, and then they're trying to play to the Chinese market because they're cutting out these scenes. It's like, what? Okay, sure, whatever, Disney or Pixar, you know. But yeah, I would say the movie itself's decent. There's some funny scenes, but the ending is very emotional.
I'll have to see it then.
especially if it because it has to do with the father, the whole movie. Especially if you're close
It's
to your
because they're
father.
trying to bring him back to life or something,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, if you have a very good relationship or close relationship with your father, you'll probably enjoy it, or the ending at least.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did. Or no, or the part that got me was the ending because it's about brothers, and
Yes.
I'm pretty close with my brother, so I related to that. I was like, this is a good brother story, but
Okay.
though they don't do too much with the world, and the story's pretty generic, so it's okay. 6 out of 10.
So one of those that like down the road, yeah, but don't rush to watch it.
Yeah, like maybe it'll go up as time goes by. Maybe it'll go up to a 7, but as is, it's
It's
good.
okay.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was like the tens I gave were Toy Story 4,
Mm-hmm.
Ratatouille, and Coco.
Cool, cool.
Over,
I think I gave it to Toy Story 1 and 2.
and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like no other, not even Coco, or it goes up to that for you, man. Like,
No, nothing will hit the highs of the of Toy Story.
yeah, there's a lot of really good Pixar movies. I would say.
Yeah, there were definitely more hits than misses.
Oh, for sure, because they don't really miss, huh?
Yeah,
But
other than it seems like they had two actual misses.
yeah, there's Cars 2 and then like Good Dinosaur,
Dinosaur.
and
They might have had some that were just like base hits. They had a lot
even
of home
then
runs.
those movies have good element. Well, maybe not Cars 2, but
Yeah. No, but
uh,
even a base hit is good. That is you were glad with the base hit.
yeah,
Can't
I think
can't hit a
Cars.
home run every time.
I think Cars 2 is more of like a bunt to the first base, but
Bunt, it would be a bunt to the pitcher and then getting thrown out.
it's more like a bean to the person on base.
No,
Uh,
Cars 2 is getting hit right in the nuts by the pitcher and
oh,
forgetting to have worn a cup that day.
oh no. But yeah, so but like I guess my favorites were Toy Story 4, Coco, and Ratatouille.
I would say, other than Toy Story, Monsters Inc. and Incredibles for me would probably be my highest rated.
Okay, I once I see Incredibles again, it'll probably go up a lot.
It's really good. I think you'll appreciate it more as you've gotten older
Yeah.
as well.
And then I'm pretty sure as time goes by, I'll hate Incredibles 2 just because I hate the date.
Yeah, like I said, bad memories. I'll go on a date with you and we'll watch it.
We'll watch it again. At this time, Soul isn't out yet, but I
I
really want to see it.
am really excited for Soul.
It looks amazing. It looks great. It looks snack of a movie.
And
And then also next year, there's a movie called Luca coming out, which I don't know anything about.
I didn't even know that was a movie supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, apparently it's adopted from some story called La Luna. So I guess maybe it'll be another Coco type thing.
Yeah, I'll have to go look it up then find out what
Yeah,
it's about.
yeah, because the director is of Latin descent, Enrico Casarosa.
You sure he's not Italian?
Enrico Casarosa. Oh yeah, he is Italian. Never mind.
Wait, is he really?
Yep. Whoops.
I said that as a joke.
He is Italian.
I should have said Polish or something. Then Italian was just the first thing that popped in my brain.
And you were right about it.
Damn it!
But yeah. Oh, what? What?
What?
Hold on a sec. Music of Soul is done by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, actually, if this it's about a guy dying, Trent Reznor can do death pretty well.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna have a jazz soundtrack, so that's interesting.
That is gonna be different. Like, what if this whole thing is like them playing up like, oh, it's lighthearted, but it's literally just a guy going through hell. He gets the, what sins have I have committed? You were black.
You were black, and they just drop him into the fire, the lake of fire.
It's just all this weird industrial music behind it.
Just sludgy, just. But yeah, so that's our Pixar marathon. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I really do want to do other themed episodes like this again.
It's fun to do. It's fun to just kind of like really deep. Actually, that wasn't even deep dive because we didn't really deep dive into any of them, but just to go through the whole history of something.
Yeah, and kind of just like talk about the stuff we really liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
A
be
very
down. I'd be down to
passionate
do that.
episode. Yeah. I guess we can go into questions. We actually have a good amount, so we'll probably try to blast through them.
Yeah, because it's getting pretty late.
Yeah, we want it to be done by 1:30 a.m., but it's 1:52 right now.
Yeah, we'll blast through this real quick, and then as long as I'm in bed in like 20-25 minutes, we'll be good.
Oh yeah, that should be plenty. So, if you guys want to send us any questions, make sure to tweet me or DM me on Instagram at HuggerDerek, or if you know Colton, you can ask him in person.
You can come tickle me and whisper it in my ear.
Come tickle him right in his Toy Story. What?
That's my butthole.
That's his butt.
No, butthole.
Baha.
My baha.
Baha. Ka. Anyway, our first question comes from Instagram. At Jackery on Instagram writes in. He says, "How do you think COVID affects the production of animated movies, like delays?" I think it probably delayed a lot of stuff.
I was trying to think of something funny to say.
Maybe not animation, because I guess that could be done
remotely.
But it didn't have probably not as much as animation, but
yeah, especially
live
now
action
that
movies.
Most animation is done on like Cintiq, is that what they call it? The computer tablet that you draw on.
Yeah, so a lot of that can be, yeah. But live action movies, it definitely put a damper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the Batman got delayed.
Yeah, well, that, and I heard that Robert Pattinson was giving people like issues.
I think he's earned it at this point, though.
It still looks so good.
He's a good actor. I hate to admit it, but he's a good actor.
I will happily admit he's great. He is. But yeah, so that was easy.
Probably
question.
Not too much, yeah.
Yeah. Not on animation, really, because Soul's still coming out.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that got delayed at all.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff only got delayed just because companies want to make money, and they want to, or studios, and they want to release it when
theatrical release.
People can see it. The next question comes from @intro.george, which, by the way, I just edited a video for my buddy George for his YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. Go support him. Go subscribe, because
I actually still need to watch his stuff. I have not watched any of it yet.
Yeah, I work for him, so support for him, support for me, because he pays me.
I will watch then. Keep my boy employed.
Keep my boy employed. He asks, "What's your least favorite Disney princess?" It probably is some of the earlier ones, because some of them are kind of boring, I guess.
The girl from Brave.
Really? Okay. I would say that at least her accent and her design makes her more interesting. You know what? I actually haven't seen a lot of the classic Disney princess stories because I just wasn't interested as a kid.
Yeah, you were. See, I grew up with a mom who loved all of it, so I was forced to sit through them, so I've seen them all. And I guess, even if I don't like them, they're so timeless, I don't feel like the Brave Girl's gonna hold up in 100 years.
Yeah, probably not. Like, there's ones I like like Belle. I think she's an interesting character from Beauty and the Beast. And I love Tiana. I love Tiana for Princess and the Frog. That might be a black thing, but she was a good character. She's really interesting and sassy and but not in an annoying way.
Yeah, she was done right.
She's just like she's a workaholic, which we don't see princesses like that in Disney movies that are just like, I have 3 jobs, you know?
Yeah. Who else? Like, what other princesses were just kind of?
I guess maybe like some of the earlier ones, like Snow White and like Cinderella, or Sleeping Beauty. It's like, eh.
See, like those, like I said, even if I don't love them, I feel like the timelessness, they get a boost.
I'll just say like Snow White, because that's probably the one that's like, or Sleeping Beauty, because that's probably the one that's like, I don't hear anyone talk about Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Brave Girl.
Okay. I need to see Tangled. I heard that's really good.
Oh, Tangled is fantastic.
He also writes in, what movie made you cry? We just talked about it. Coco. I guess which
Toy Story 4.
Yeah, oh yeah, that and Coco made me.
See, like I said, Coco had the watery eyes, but there's been other movies that got watery eyes. Toy Story 4 was legitimately me like...
See, it was the opposite effect for me. Toy Story 4 was teary because I was like, dang, this is a good ending. But Coco was like tears,
the ugly running nose, just like...
Yeah, that was me with Coco. I watched it with my brother and my mom, and we all just... Jesus, that movie.
But yeah, pretty much Disney. Disney, though, is the only type that can get that response out of me.
I did tear up when Finding Dory, like when it started, just because the animation was beautiful.
You're like, this is so... It just like it's progressed so much.
I was like, oh, the art is so nice, and that because it's just like Finding Nemo is such a close movie to me. And then also, what Disney movie would you want to be in? He did say just Disney, so I'm gonna go Wreck-It Ralph.
Shit. Treasure Planet.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one to be in.
Or Atlantis.
Yeah. Okay.
Either of those would be fun.
You would want to be in the action ones, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Sinbad? No, wait, no, that's DreamWorks. That's DreamWorks, right?
No, I take everything I said back. Technically, Star Wars is the Disney property now.
Oh, doing the loophole. Well, then I guess I could be in Avengers then, because if we're doing loophole.
Yeah, you could.
I'm gonna pick something no one thinks of. I'm gonna pick John Carter.
You were right. I forgot that movie existed.
I feel bad for that franchise, or that and Tron, because it's like, oh, these are these cool sci-fi franchises, and then they bought Star Wars, and it's like, we don't need these anymore. Especially Tron, because that you could do a lot with that.
It at least had a great soundtrack.
Yeah, the second Tron, Daft Punk. Yo. give me 1 sec. I'm trying to find the other questions because they were sent in a group chat. So I'm trying to come back. We'll put some nice music over this. Everybody supersonic racing, try to keep your feet right on the ground. I should have just screenshotted that. I was wanting to.
Might have been a little easier.
Oh, okay. I'm here. They asked a lot, so I told them one each. So.
Oh yeah.
At died_obsession writes in, question for the podcast: why is Remy the rat so hot? I'd let him spice me up any day.
Well, because you know that he's little and flexible and could crawl around inside your innards if he wanted to.
And hairy.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of tickle while he's crawling around in there.
Women love a man with hair.
Actually, depending on the woman, I got lucky. I am a very hairy man, but my girlfriend likes hairy men, so I was like, okay, cool.
I'm not. I mean, I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Oh no, I am a fucking Sasquatch.
Jeez. At Ty Rizza on Instagram writes in, why didn't Fix-It Felix use his magic hammer to fix Vanellope's glitching? Because he hates children.
I think he screams some type of like women don't deserve rights.
Yeah, he seems it was like really out of nowhere. And I was
very
like, what are they
misogynistic.
trying to say? I was like, what are they trying to say with this movie? I mean, I agree with it, but it's like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I forgot we're a misogynist podcast.
Yeah, that's right. We don't respect women on the podcast. We made that very clear to Kaylee when she was on.
That's right. I had to put her in her place. I
feel like she understood. She got it.
She knew.
Yeah, she knows what's up. Yeah, so that answers that question. At Christopher.Robin, it's a good name. My friend Chris.
That is a great name.
Right? On Instagram, writes in, he says, why wasn't Lightning McQueen just put in a... Oh, no, okay. If you take an engine out of a car in the Cars universe and put it in another car, is it still the same car?
Shit.
He's basically asking if the engine is like the brain and contains the spirit and soul of the car.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, I've said many times that the movie Cars doesn't explain its world that well.
It really, no, it's just their cars.
And it raises more questions than it answers.
Because, yeah, there's like so many components to a car. It's like not like people, like you can't swap brains out, but in a car, you can easily swap engines.
Yeah, it's like that whole paradox or whatever with the ship,
Mm-hmm.
where you keep building it. At what point is it a new ship?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, I
I
guess
guess it would be a clone.
so. Or yeah, maybe it'll be like you ever play Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2?
Yes.
It'll be like that. All right.
Yeah.
I'll go to the next one. At Japan D99 on Instagram writes in. This is more of a Disney question, but she's still low-key curious.
Mm-hmm.
Were Rapunzel's pubes the same length as her hair, or when she cuts it, it turns brown?
Because
Yes.
this is Tangled. When she cuts hair, it
Yeah.
changes.
To
Ah,
brown, right?
yeah. Well, no, because her like
Her like
eyebrows and
armpits and
eyelashes. Yeah,
yeah,
didn't. I think it's
every
just her
just the
head
hair.
hair.
It's just the hair.
Because yeah, like the textures of your pubic hair and normal hair are typically different. So no, I think it's just head.
So no head.
No head.
So no head. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen Tangled, so I don't know. All right. I think that's it for the Instagram questions. Let's go to Twitter.
Now we flip over to the
We're flipping over to the twits. The twits.
twist.
At ZTCBITW.
It's Ruben.
Da boy Ruben. We gotta have him on the podcast one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, what are the 5 worst movies that everyone loves or that are completely overrated? Not partially overrated, but not completely overrated. And he wants us to also make a tier list like we did with the Cartoon Network shows. That's probably another episode.
Yeah.
But let's talk about overrated. Let's find an overrated movie.
You already know my answer.
Lion King.
Yes, but I will. What is another overrated?
This one's like it's kind of just a little bit overrated.
Avengers.
The first one?
Just Avengers in general.
Really?
Like they're good, but they're not amazing.
Okay. I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from, but I don't agree with it. But I can see where you're coming from.
They're enjoyable movies, but people are treating them like they are landmark cinema, and they're just fun action movies.
Yeah, I mean, they're not Citizen Kane, but
yeah,
I don't think they're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be, but the people act like they are.
Yeah, there's people that are cringe that are, but I mean, I will say that with Infinity War, I think Thanos is like a technical marvel. I will say that.
Thanos is actually like, I will give him. He's a great villain.
Yeah, there's parts that are very like to be remembered or like marvels or landmarks in cinema.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think as a whole, the series isn't great cinema. Although I will disagree with like Martin Scorsese, who says that it isn't cinema.
Oh no,
I still think it is.
It has its place. It is definitely.
Yeah. Like I think they can be at points, the Marvel movies. This is for all the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
They can be just as artistic or explain the human condition just as much as any artsy indie film. But
yeah, just because they have a big budget doesn't mean that they.
Yeah, like stuff like Black Panther really goes into like, some things or yeah, not every Marvel movie, but some of them,
And with how many there are.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of one that's like everyone loves, but I just don't get it. I don't know.
Oh, I was about to say.
I guess Cars. There's a lot of people that love it, and I don't get it. That was my main thing. That was the first thing I said, is that I don't get Cars.
Not a movie, but a TV series, Big Bang Theory.
Bazoingers. We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, and Friends. Don't get it.
Yeah, Friends. I get some episodes, but then there's just times where I'm like, this isn't that funny.
The Office. I enjoy it, but I don't get it.
That's another one you talked about, yeah. Yeah, I will say some stuff like that. A lot of cult stuff, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of like the really good stuff, a lot of
Donnie
people
Darko.
that I like. Really? I've never seen it,
I
but
don't
yeah,
get the hype around Donnie Darko.
you either love or you hate it.
I watched it
That's
thinking that it was going to be this life-changing experience, and it's just a subpar movie.
it's just it's you know what it was. It came out or it got loved by the right people at the right time. The
Mm-hmm.
emos, you
It
know,
really, yeah.
the scene kids. They picked it up or they found out about it just at the right time.
And it was this revelation to them, and it's just a shitty movie.
It's crazy that that's young Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I always
what?
forget that. Like, I forget that he's been acting for that long.
Yeah, and it was a lead role.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. And Seth Rogen's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's been so long since I saw it.
But yeah, I would say Cars. Like, I just don't understand really why people love it so much.
I'm gonna go Donnie Darko.
Okay. Let's see. Another buddy of mine from Spanish, on Twitter at Blake538601313. It's a lot of numbers. He says, who would win in a fight between the old man of Pixar, Mr. Fredricksen from Up, or Jerry, the guy who plays chess with himself in the animated short before Bug's Life?
Jerry, absolutely.
He says, I'm talking like a bare knuckle beatdown. Which old man curb stomps the other?
Jerry. Because Jerry's smart.
Yeah, it's true. He is a chess player, so.
And he knows how to win. He'll cheat, but he'll win.
He'll play dirty. Yeah, if it is like a bare knuckle street fight, I would probably give it to Jerry as well.
Because there's no rules in a bare knuckle street fight.
Yeah, it just is what it is. It's like a game of chess. Yeah, I'd give it to Jerry too. Because he's kind of tall and lanky, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He looks like he's probably in better shape too. He can move.
Yeah, he looks like he's an old man that runs. You know.
He can move still.
Mm-hmm. And then Miss Fredricksen's kind of. Although I was watching Up and I was like, this old man is kind of OP. He's kind of OP because he kind of he pulled a house, and when he needed to lighten the load, he threw out a full refrigerator, just pushed it himself.
That's true. The dude got muscle.
I was like, this is a strong.
This is agility versus muscle, and I think agility wins.
I think he'd put up a good fight, Mr. Fredricksen, but I think Jerry would take it off just because of the strategy he probably has. All right, that's good. That was a really good question, actually. I really like that one.
Yeah, I did too. Very innovative. Not innovative.
I hate this question. I hate this next question so much. At Choppa_Zachary, our friend, or he always asks the good ones.
What's he got?
He writes in, what is the protocol? What is the official Monsters Inc. protocol if a monster gets sexually assaulted by the person that they are trying to scare? And when I brought up the fact that they only scare kids?
Yeah.
He said sometimes parents snoop in on their kid's room, or maybe if they got the wrong door. So if a monster accidentally scared an adult and got sexually harassed, what would be the protocol?
I think they just shred they shred the door with the monster still in the room, so he's just left there. He's just gonna be tortured for the rest of eternity.
That leads into our cryptid episode. That's how the cryptids got here.
They were molested monsters.
They were monsters that picked the wrong door, picked a weird horny adult, and got touched inappropriately. And then they had to shred the door because it's like, I don't want you bringing this to our monster world.
They could be bringing STDs back. You can't risk it.
That's true. It'll be like when the Europeans brought smallpox. It's like, we've never seen this. I don't think monsters have seen STDs.
Yeah, it just would wipe them all out.
It would kill them all. So they have to shred the door with the monster in it, and then that's how we have Bigfoot and Mothman. Mothman's definitely from Monsters Inc.
Mothman is absolutely.
He's like a Randall type,
And then he's very molestable.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not gonna say that, but I guess so. I hate this question so much, but it's a good one. It's funny. We have two more. Okay.
Oh yeah.
At Black_Texan, brother of the podcast.
Yay.
He asked what's our favorite Disney Pixar movies, which I told him I was like,
That's the entire episode.
that's the podcast. He said, The Princess and the Frog is underrated. That's not a question. I just felt like saying it.
I agree with that. The music in that is incredible.
Oh, so good. Randy Newman, actually.
And the voodoo, what is his name? The Voodoo King guy.
Him?
No, just the actual character.
The Shadow Man.
Shadow
I don't know
Man.
his name, but no, the guy who voices him, Keith David, is he has a sexy voice. That Keith David.
Shadow Man's just cool.
Yeah, that's Goliath from Gargoyles, and like it's just he does a whole bunch of voice work. Keith David's very beautiful. He has this deep like voice, and I wish I had it.
I think we all do.
I'm a little attracted to him. I'm getting a little turned on by thinking about it.
Just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit. Yeah, it is underrated. I think it's probably because it was one of the last 2D animated movies, and it came out around the time where CG was already picking up a whole bunch of steam.
Yeah, and
so
I miss the actual hand drawn.
Oh yeah, was it hand drawn or was it like?
Well, I'm sure it was done on a computer, but like you said, the classic 2D style.
Mm. I think the very last one was Winnie the Pooh. I think, or I think it was just called Winnie the Pooh, right? The most recent Winnie the Pooh movie. I think it was just called Winnie the Pooh.
It might have just been Pooh.
It's like Logan. It's like a dark, gritty. Like
Winnie the Pooh reboot.
Christopher Robin's like an old man in a wheelchair, and Pooh's like,
Pooh's a Vietnam vet.
They took out the rest of the 100 Acre Woods, but me and Christopher.
They were in the trees.
They were in the trees. They were in the trees. And Christopher Robin's like, Taco Bell. And then, yeah. And then another question. What are your feelings about Onward? Well, we talked about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't give an honest review.
It's all right. He also says Cars 1 was not that bad, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? I don't get it.
It seems like it was one of those, like, it's not great, but I don't hate it.
There's a part of me that hates it, just because they just keep making them. Or they kept making them for a while. I was like, stop.
Please.
Like,
it's
stop.
not
like,
deserving.
Why? Like, Monsters Inc. 2, please. But, Jesus, stop it. What are you doing? It's like when they kept making Land Before Time movies. It's like, stop it.
So yeah, just let it die.
It's like when they made Mega Man X and they were like on like 9. It's like, okay, I think it's time to let the series die.
And then they went to Mega Man Z or whatever. Like, there's so many Mega Mans.
Oh, ZX and like Battle Network and like there's a spin-off from Battle. That's a whole nother thing.
It's too much.
That's a lot of Mega Man. And not even just like basic Mega Man. It's all just side games.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've heard Mega Man 11 was pretty darn good. I
played the demo. I enjoyed it. It felt like Mega Man.
That's good. That's all I really want. At Jaquez 552X on Twitter writes in. He asks, what's the best... this one is pretty much a similar. He says, what is the best Pixar movie and why is it The Incredibles? Ooh, okay. I see what you're doing here.
I don't think it's the best, but I did very, very much enjoy it.
I understand why he would.
Yeah, I could. It is an argument that I am okay with. Mm-hmm. I might not personally subscribe to that idea, but I can totally respect if you do.
Yeah, it's like communism and fascism. It's like, yeah, I understand it, but
I don't get it, but I understand it.
It ain't making me laugh, but I get it. Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That is a fantastic hand banana. No,
I need to watch more of that show. I've only seen like clips.
It's an experience.
I feel like it's right up my alley. Like, it's like weird humor.
Yeah, oh, it is. I mean, just all that early Adult Swim is so. Have you watched Venture Brothers yet? Still need to watch that. I still
haven't.
It's fantastic.
You know what's funny? I used to watch like Space Ghost Coast to Coast when I was like 6.
Space Ghost is incredible. Or Harvey Birdman.
Like going back to like those shows, like there's some really good. The timing on those jokes is so good.
Mm-hmm. And just how absurd some of them are.
Like the not the Flintstones, the Harvey Birdman episode with the Jetsons, where he's like, "We're from the far off year of 2004," and he like looks at the calendar and it's like 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Or just the Space Ghost part, or where he sees the ant and he's like, the ant's dead, and then he see a few minutes later he's like, there's another ant. I think it's a twin, and he's like, well, it's probably not the same ant. He's like, a second ant? Just weird stuff like that. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's why it's funny though.
Yeah, like it's stoner humor, but it's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another Pixar movie.
I would pay to watch a Pixar Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
I'm really upset that the Mario Brothers movie was handed off to Illumination and not Pixar. Like, why?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear a thing you just said.
Oh, I said I'm really upset that the Mario Brothers movie was handed off to Illumination and not Pixar.
Yeah,
like,
they
like
could have.
Like, they're Nintendo. They could give it to anyone, but they're like, yeah, let's give it to the guys that made Minions a thing. Like, what?
Pixar could have, if they would have shown it the love and care that they could have made such a good movie.
Yeah,
And
or even just like
my hopes of a Waluigi spinoff would be that much closer to reality.
It'll be like they keep making Cars movies. It'll be like, let's keep making Waluigi only movies.
See, you're saying that as a bad thing. All I'm hearing is
wow.
What I want for the rest of my life.
All I'm hearing is wow.
But is that it for questions?
Yeah, that's it for questions. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope there was some spicy hot takes.
Sorry,
I know this episode wasn't as like comedic. I think it was still pretty.
It was just more conversation, and I apologize for losing steam as the questions went on. I am very sleepy right now.
I'm actually pretty tired too. So, usual things. If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe to the Huggercast YouTube channel so you could see uploads. I make regular videos and upload the podcast as well. Or if you just want to listen to the audio, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes,
Radio Public,
SoundCloud, pretty much anywhere you find
Radio
podcasts.
Public.
Our Lord and Savior,
Radio
Radio Public, and don't forget Radio Public.
Radio Public. Next
Radio
podcast.
Public.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Radio Public. You'll be like a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Radio Public.
Radio Public.
Public.
Radio Public. Radio. And I like when Pokemon, like, they say like half their name because it's like a short sentence. They're like Pika Pee, Pikachu, Squirtle Squirt, Squirt, Squirt.
What is it? It reminds me of my girlfriend whenever she sees Micah. Like half the time she goes Mika me.
Mika.
Me. But you got to do the high pitch me.
You're cutting off over here, so I can't
okay.
really hear what you're
let's see if you can hear me this time. She goes Mika me.
Oh God, no! It keeps cutting out. On your audio, it'll sound fine. So the audience will hear what you're doing. Yeah. Tell her to come up with something for me when she sees me.
All right.
Nick. And make sure to write a review on iTunes. That helps. Follow us on Spotify. Share with your friends, your family. Strap down your grandparents. Make them listen to it.
It'll reinvigorate their sex life.
Of course. It will make them more horny.
Grandparents.
Did you know that the screenplay for Soul was worked on by Tina Fey?
I didn't, but that gives me even more hope for it.
That's weird, but okay.
I like
cool.
Tina Fey.
She's funny. She worked on the screenplay for Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, and if, as always, I usually put out a call for questions, but if you just want to send them to me just to have them ahead of time, you can DM me at HuggerDerek on Twitter or Instagram, or if you know Colton in real life, you can just ask him, find him, kiss him.
Do whatever you want. You've earned it.
Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want for $20.
$5.
Okay. All right. But yeah, is there anything else? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put the link to my friend George's video that I edited for him in the description. Please go check that out and subscribe to him because I edit for him. So that'd be cool.
You get Derek,
Is there
so
anything?
keep Derek employed.
Keep me employed. Times are tough, man. I work for Smarties and scraps of table scraps of ham. So
Sounds like the life.
I blow people for bottle caps. Anyway, is there anything you want to plug, Colton?
Nah, I'm good.
Maybe a certain platform people can find you on,
Nope.
so that they can look into your life and
Nope.
tell you that they love you.
Nope.
Maybe give you a kiss on the lips.
Nope.
Make a YouTube channel already, Colton.
Nope.
You're an entertaining individual, and people want to see you.
Got to keep them wanting more.
Just get naked.
I already am.
That's true. Yeah. You know what? I've been just real quick. I've figured out that editing a video podcast would actually not be super difficult.
No,
So
honestly,
if you ever want to
it's
do video,
I have to get a better webcam and all that, but at some point I would like to.
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. We love you. We want to kiss you on the lips.
Goodbye,
Mwah.
everybody.
Goodbye and good night or good morning or whatever it is.
Whatever time of day it is.
We want to kiss you.